We live? There we go. All right. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's game 2 between the Carolina Hurricanes and Montreal Canadiens here in the Eastern Conference Final. And of course, we'll see if the Habs are able to extend their series lead to 2-0 and play a game similarly to what we saw in game 1. Or possibly we'll see the Hurricanes actually do a damn thing in the Eastern Conference Final and tie up this series. So welcome here to Twisted Wrister Hockey. Hopefully you're excited for this game here. And of course, we want to take a moment here to once again express our heartfelt condolences for Neil Taylor and the Taylor family for the loss of his father, Brent, from Post to Post. So, lifelong Canadiens fan, and even though the Hurricanes are my favorite team in the Eastern Conference, hey, seeing Montreal advance would be pretty great for those reasons. We got Tony, and we've got Sports Geeks in the building. Hello, guys. Good afternoon/evening to you. And hopefully you're enjoying the conference finals so far. We have seen already quite a surprising result on the Western Conference side of things, with the Vegas Golden Knights taking a 2-0 lead on the road. They'll be at home tomorrow night against the Avalanche. And without Cale Makar, these Avalanche have certainly not looked up to snuff. Christine, what's going on? It's been a while. Yeah, that's true. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Are you an Oilers fan? I know that we had, back in the Cup run year for the Avalanche, we had a lot of Oilers fans coming into our chat as well, just because they had made it to the conference final that year, first time they did under Connor McDavid. But I haven't seen if there are any lineup changes. If there were, I would assume they'd mostly be for the Hurricanes, just shuffling the lines. Yeah, Oilers fan, man. I don't know how I pulled that one out. But on the Montreal side of things, the only real changes we've seen recently, as far as I know, are with what they've been doing with the defensive pairs with like Jack Eye, if he's going to play, or Jaden Struble. Oh, that is crisp, that is cold, and that is refreshing. And hopefully the Hurricanes will refresh how they approach things tactically, because they looked so out of sorts in that first game. They did start pretty well in the sense that Jarvis got on the board in the first minute, but right afterwards, I think it was Caulfield answers back, and the screws just came loose for Carolina as Montreal just blew 4 goals past Freddie Anderson. He didn't play a good game by any means, but the defense for the Hurricanes was what was very surprising. Chris, what's going on? Welcome back. You graduated yesterday. Well, I don't know how to say it in French. I just by default feel kind of compelled to say it in a different language. But bravo, I guess, Italian. Congratulations to you. That's great. You need the Hurricanes to tie the series. Yeah, I kind of need that too. What jersey am I rocking today? It's the only Hurricanes jersey I have these days. It's the first home jersey they had in the Adidas era. So it's a bit of it's like a simplified version of what they used to wear at home, because you do have the storm flags at the bottom here, and the striping here, though, it's kind of weird because it doesn't actually have the storm flags in here. It's a fine jersey, but when they brought back the original home jersey, or the original red jersey for the 25th anniversary, I got to say that was pretty lovely. But congrats, Sports Geeks. But yeah, Chris, good to have you back here as well. Always nice when we have folks we haven't seen in a while. What's up, Dean? I'm thinking you're probably on cloud 9 right now. Unbelievable. And Hart just continues to get better in these playoffs. Carolina in 5 as a Flyers fan. Interesting. This was one where I had to side on the with history, with how the Hurricanes have been faring in the conference final before and upon Rod Brindamore's arrival. I figured this would be a very close series, though. Not like game 1, but hey, that's exactly what it was. It was the first game. Canadiens riding some momentum. You should say that the Hurricanes disappointed, to say the least, but they did have 11 days off or 12 days off, so that's pretty crazy. So Sports Geeks, what is next for you? I guess that would be my question. I hope the Canadiens pull off 3 more wins. So far, so good. I mean, this is a team that's kind of playing with some house money. They were expected to be good, but not this good. And just about everything that you want from them is going well for them, I'd say. You had Philip Deneau he scored in the last game, and I think he also scored in Game 7. Alex Newhook coming through. It's not just the top guns out there for the Canadiens getting it done. Dobish is playing very well for the most part. So, yeah, there's very little to find fault with these Canadiens. The red jersey is much better than the black home ones. I agree. I liked when they had the 25th anniversary jersey quite a bit. This one I used to prefer over the black one. I maybe it's a little bit better, but yeah, I'd like to see the Hurricanes actually, have a more unified look and a more consistent look. But hey, as long as they're playing well, that's what matters first and foremost. I started watching the CHL Memorial Cup, rooting for Kitchener. I know they have no chance, but I'll go for Kelowna. I don't really care too much, though. I don't really follow that. I forget. Did Prince Albert win for the WHL? I can't remember. No, Everett won. Maybe I'll go for Everett. I don't know. They've been so good for so long, but they just haven't gotten to that next level. I'm going to tech school for HVAC. That's awesome. I think that's a great route to go. Really, I do. It's better than probably what I decided to do, which was I got my communications degree, and that didn't really. I mean, it helped a little bit, but not very practical, right? AI's taking over. Vegas is doing good. In 2024, they won 2 road games against Dallas in the first round and still lost the series. I did not know that. But probably not the first 2 games. Got to stay humble here. I mean, it's just amazing how you can take a team like the Avalanche who can score, 8 goals or 9 goals in a game, and you can just make things miserable for them. They're not getting off that many shots, it doesn't look like, or at least they're not hitting the net. The power play is still anemic, and yeah, it just looks like a different team without Cale Makar. Derek, what's going on? Great to see you here. But yeah, it amazes me watching the Avalanche without Makar. I mean, it's like McKinnon making these good plays, but it's kind of like, oh, that's cute, Nate. And, nobody else is picking it up for them so far. It also goes to show that when you have, sorry, my nose is like really itchy for whatever reason. When you have the center depth that the Knights do, excuse me, that's going to play a neutralizing factor for a team that's also pretty strong down the middle like the Avalanche. Did I hear that that the Knights lost their second round pick and Tortorella got fined $100,000. It's pretty ridiculous that a coach can get that for not talking to the media, but $5,000 if you nearly take somebody's head off on the ice. That to me, it's more than harsh for a punishment. But those are the rules. I understand that, but like that's pretty damn harsh. Makar, does he have a separated shoulder? As my nose continues to give me problems. Sorry about that. Jeez. I haven't seen if there was an update. I went to NHL.com to see if there's I don't see separated shoulder. But then again, I haven't gone on X today. Because that's where news breaks these days, right? What is what's the poll looking like? Do we even have a poll? Oh yeah, we do. Okay, we've got just a few votes so far. Oh, but some people have faith in the Hurricanes to start out. But yeah, separated shoulder that'd be terrible. Obviously, granted, guys have played through worse. It's hockey, right? But I mean, if that has an effect on his shot, that makes a huge difference. Who do we got revving the siren here? Eric Cole and Chad LaRose. I know Eric Cole from the Cup winning team. I don't know the other guy though. I had just kind of started getting into the NHL when Carolina won in 2006 against the crazy magical Edmonton Oilers, Chris Pronger's Edmonton Oilers. And really, if they had if Dwayne Rollison hadn't gotten injured during the final, I think that the Oilers would have won that series. I hope that hope everything's okay with your friend though. Oh, because you were ahead of him. I'm not sure if I understand, but yo, I mean I've been there before when you move on to something else, and it's like got to make sure that you make the extra effort, right, to keep those connections. That's really important. It's not easy as you get older, but fortunately, I've had a lot of my buddies for 2 decades or even longer. I'm doing a Lego dog set, but it looks like Cortana. Well, black and tan dog. Anyway, we'll bring Cortana back in once once we have some events here. Once we have a goal, or I don't know. She'll come back in, I'm sure, but she's being fed right now. I think she usually eats around this time. And as for me, I might have to actually take this jersey off. I should have worn my Hurricanes t-shirt because it is a little warm in here. I've got the air conditioning going. She's going to BYU. That would be quite a if you're in the Philadelphia area, that's quite a different experience going out to Utah. You got to make sure she doesn't become a Mammoth fan. No, I'm just joking. All right. So they're going to do the anthem in just a moment, and then we'll get to puck drop. And we'll see, guys, if the Hurricanes can lock down defensively. That's really kind of the theme here. That was what was so surprising. It's not the fact that the Carolina Hurricanes weren't ready to play. It was that they just totally lost themselves defensively. They, as Paul Bissonnette was saying on the broadcast, he said they were playing too horny. They were too eager out there. They were overly aggressive. And they were, again, at times you saw that even on the penalty kill against the Flyers and against the Senators, where they would leave down low pretty open for Freddie Anderson because they'd pressure the puck carrier so much. And Freddie Anderson was answering the bell there, but that just didn't happen in that game one. Oh, you're in Georgia. Oh, go Dogs, I guess. Robbie, what's going on? Good evening to you, and hope you're enjoying the playoffs. A holy war between BYU and University of Utah. Yeah, I can't say I know anything about that. Although Utah's a neighboring state, but they're very far away from where I am. All right, guys, we got a score prediction for today. I'm kind of losing some faith in the Hurricanes here. So for Montreal, I'm gonna say it's gonna be a Canadiens win. You were cheering for the Sabres. Damn. I mean, they still had a hell of a season for them. And I was saying on on another video or broadcast that or live stream, it's great though that the NHL saw several teams take big steps forward. Sabres, Flyers, Ducks, Mammoth getting into the playoffs. All that was really good. 10 for Montreal and 2 for Carolina. I mean, the last game didn't seem that different, did it now? Canes 5-3. I would be surprised if the Hurricanes can put more than 3 goals in the net. I'm going to say I'll go Canadiens. I'm going to say 4-2. They'll get an empty net goal. It'll be a 3-2 game, but they'll win 4-2. I always love picking out the Whalers gear in the crowd. So I was curious about that when I went to a Hurricanes game for the first time 2 years ago. I thought to myself, yeah, I mean, you would think that there would be some Whalers representation, not like a ton of it, obviously. Not too many people relocate from Hartford to Raleigh, but there really weren't all that many people wearing Whalers stuff when I went. Randy, what's going on? Welcome back. Hello from Nashville. Smashville. 4-1 Hurricanes, 2-1 Hurricanes. And that would be a great bounce back for Freddie Anderson in either of those two outcomes. Yeah. We got to see the Hurricanes get over the hump finally. I mean, Carolina versus Vegas was a cup final that people had predicted in previous seasons. Let's see if I can turn this up a little bit more without getting in trouble. Maybe that will work. All right, so of course Anderson's still in goal. I think if things become problematic, maybe they try Bussy or Kochetkov for the next game, or pull Anderson in this case. You're going to be optimistic here, 3-2 Hurricanes. I mean, we don't need to see the Hurricanes get swept in the conference final. We've already seen that. Last year they actually won a freaking game, but that was about it. We got Cortana back here. Everybody say hi to Cortana. Smash that like for Cortana. Don't do it for me, but do it for my super cute dog. Here you go, girl. Ready? Whoop. She got a new soccer ball today. Yes, you did. You were very excited about it. Carolina ain't going out without a fight. It sure as hell better not. I mean, as somebody who's been kind of supporting them since Brindamore got hired, you can't go all this way for nothing. Or as a urinating tree would say, they're basically the reincarnation of the late 2000s and 2010s Sharks. Here we go. A chance for Jackson Blake. He's streaking down the ice. Backhander and turned aside by Dobish off the bid from Stankov. And so just like the last game, if I'm correct, the Hurricanes starting the second line that's been very productive for them, albeit the top line did show up at the end of that Philadelphia series. And now they'll regroup with Sean Walker out there. Thank you, Randy. Yeah. Of course, Cortana is just watching me. She's not watching a game because she thinks she's going to get a snack. And she probably will. So long as there are goals, or dare I say, super chats, I always will reward Cortana in that case. All right, good forechecking here from the Hurricanes. And now Slavkovsky will take this from center ice into the Cane zone around the net. Looking to center it in front. It's blocked and intercepted by Martinuk. And the Canes are offside here with their third line out there with the first minute, 16 gone by. One last thing about you and your best friend. You've been friends for almost 10 years. And so now, Sports Geeks, did you just graduated high school, right? So yeah, that's a long time to have a close friend at that point in your life. Yeah, hold on to those friends, man. Hockey from home. Good evening to you. And hello to Cortana. Here, we'll give Cortana a treat. You showed up. So we're happy to reward her for that. There we go. Look at that. Good catch, girl. All right. Canadiens out there with their third line. And off a turnover, Texier working it back to the point. Now for down low. An intercepted pass. And here comes Svechnikov. And that top line for the Hurricanes. They did show up at the end of that Flyer series. But they really do have to be a more productive group out there, frankly. Aho hasn't done enough. Svechnikov's been kind of a ghost. And Jarvis, just not quite the same Seth Jarvis I'm used to seeing in the playoffs, although he, of course, had that goal to start things in Game 1. But the Canes have gone 2 minutes now without allowing a goal, so that's a good thing, I guess. Top defensive pairing out there, Dobson and Matheson for the Canadiens. The fourth line grinding here for the Hurricanes. And a goal, a changeup that went through the wickets of Jakub Dobish, and the Hurricanes get on top early in this contest. Looks like that's going to be Eric Robinson's goal. So the fourth line doing some yeoman's work and getting rewarded for it. I got to see who that went off of. So, it went off Robinson tipped it. It was kind of a shot that Carrier fanned on, and somehow Robinson got a tip on it, and it didn't. I don't think it went 5-hole with Dobish. It just changed direction on him and totally. You can't you can't get upset about him from that side of things. So anyway, early Hurricanes goal, just like last game. We'll see if Montreal finds some fire within and starts stacking some good shifts out there. And right now, it's the second line out there for Montreal, going up against Taylor Hall and the second line for the Hurricanes. Nice feathered pass. Stankoven on the backhand, denied by Dobish. Hudson facing some pressure from Blake. And now turned over by the Canadiens. A chance for Blake and a good stick there from Jake Evans. Yeah, that was definitely a broken play. But they don't ask how, they ask how many, right? Especially in the postseason. So the first 2 goals, or 2 shots on goal for the Carolina Hurricanes. None for the Canadiens just yet. And Slavin, who did have a rough game 1 himself, able to get that out of the Hurricane zone. Not very often you say Jacob Slavin had a bad game. He even was interviewed and said that he basically gave away the game for them, which is a little bit harsh, but for one of your leaders on that team, that's something that you want to see, right? Keandre Miller also had a rough game for the defense. Nice stretch pass here to Martinook. He'll back pass it over to Eers. It hops over his stick. And now Caulfield has it whacked away by Gostisbehere. Gostisbehere bumps it to Aho. On the backhand, Aho feathers it over. A shot from Nikishin and blocked another bid there off the stick of Deneau. Colorado, Carolina. Yeah, same thing with Mrs. Twister. So she's going for the teams that are trailing in this series. Jarvis had a good attempt there. And off the loose puck, Gostisbehere. Good look, but he couldn't quite connect with Aho. As skating ahead will be Josh Anderson. It goes for Freddie Anderson to play. And now transitioning quickly out of their zone of the Hurricanes with Svechnikov. Drop pass to Jarvis and blocked by Matheson. Jarvis. And some support here from Jankowski jumping in from the 4th line. Dobson trying to settle this puck. And just can't move it along the wall as it ends up behind the net for Svechnikov. He does the Svechnikov, and he can't quite get it on goal. He does the lacrosse move, I should say. Chance, what's up, man? Hey, thank you for returning here in the playoffs. Good to have you here. It's a good day. Josh Anderson down low and trying to center it for Kapanen as Alex Carrier will battle with number 91. Hurricanes skating it out. Now move past center ice. A little chip play looking down for Eric Robinson, who has the first goal of this game. And nobody at the point there, but Nikishin will slap it back in as the Hurricanes get a change. For 6 minutes gone by. No shots for the Canadiens just yet. And here they come into the Carolina zone. A drop pass out to the point. Looking for Kirby Dach. It's crazy that Kirby Dach's playing on the 4th line, the former 3rd overall pick. But that just shows how much talent. Yeah, a Michigan. Yes. A Michigan. But, they call it the Svechnikov in Carolina. Stanley Cup you'd like to see is Montreal and Vegas. I would like to see Montreal for Neil's family, for sure. That would be wonderful. But I'm rooting for Brent Burns to get a Stanley Cup, and it's not looking pretty for him. Chatfield. Brent Burns has been to, I think, 3 conference finals in the last 4 years. Not to mention, as you guys know, he had gone as far as the Cup final back in 2016 with San Jose. Carolina's playing with some fire. Yeah, they're working harder to prolong their offensive possessions, and Montreal hasn't really gotten much of a cycle game going so far. Added more channel shorts today, and the Blue Jays won. Okay, well, it's already a good day, I gotta say. This puck going all the way down past Dobish. Will that be an icing? No. And the grizzled veteran Mike Matheson just Going to play keep away from Jordan Martinook. So he's got the puck behind his net. In the neutral zone, good defense aggressively there, Sean Walker. And now chipped in, looking for Jankowski as he knocks the puck down after it was popped up. And now here's Noah Dobson. Good neutral zone pass for Slavkovsky. Hands it off to the wing, looking down low, but a good read by Keandre Miller. Cole Caulfield was right on the back door and could have had a tap-in goal. But that's the Keandre Miller that we know. Go Knights been playing. Wow, you guys, man, you look impenetrable right now. Carter Hart being a huge piece of that. But what a great game for them and an amazing start to the series. I mean, I can't say that you could ask for really much more from the Golden Knights at this point, except for Stone to come back. Chatfield, a shot, and I don't know if Dobish got a piece of that. Play goes on. And now we get a whistle. The nets come off, yeah. Yep, here I ask for Brent Burns to win a Stanley Cup, and I might be getting Tomas Hertl winning a Stanley Cup. I am concerned you're in deep trouble. Yeah, it doesn't look good. You need Makar back, and I don't even know if that's going to solve everything for them. But they just really haven't generated enough offense from the defense. I mean, I gotta give Brent Burns credit. He's actually done a pretty good job. Granted, he's not quarterbacking the top power play, but I've liked his game offensively. But yeah, losing Cale Makar has been detrimental for a team that, at least forward-wise, had been showing that they are among the deepest teams in the NHL, if not the deepest. How are we doing, Cortana? Not enough offense in this game. Here you go. Whoop. There you go. Enjoy that. So 11:40 here left in the first period. I don't think we haven't had a commercial yet. So that will be coming pretty soon, I imagine, but not right now. We get a face-off in the Montreal zone. And Demidov, who had a goal in the last game, he's got kind of a 2-on-1 here. Ivan Demidov, and a good breakup there by sliding Keandre Miller. However, we get another whistle here, and it looks like it's going to be a Hurricanes penalty. Now, Demidov and Miller behind the play getting tangled up. That's why I say we're dangerous when we are doubted. I'm not going to disagree with that at all. You all right? Oh. Found the news about Makar. Is it really a separated shoulder, or is that just speculation? Well, anyway, we got a commercial break. I think when we come back, the Canadiens will be on a power play. Yeah. It will be a Montreal power play. Now, if there's one thing that has gone well for the Hurricanes in the playoffs so far, their penalty kill has been fantastic. I can't remember off the top of my head if the Canadiens had a goal on the power play in the last game. I didn't think so, but I could be wrong. They had, 5 goals on a man net. So, actually, no. Canadiens did not have any power play goals in the previous game. They had a total of 4 chances, and they were 0 for 4. No, I'm seeing 0 for 2, excuse me. I guess a couple times it was 4 on 4. So, yeah, they were 0 for 2 in the last game. Chris Stapleton at Nissan Stadium in Nashville sold out. Well, you're not going, though, are you? I mean, I'm not a country music fan, but I don't really consider his music to be like whatever. I don't know. I'm so out of the loop with country music. I've never really gotten into it myself. But if I am in the South, if I'm in the American South, that's all I want to hear, frankly. But yeah, there's one exception. I'll listen to him anytime. I like his music quite a bit. It feels like 2021. Well, then again, don't forget I think the Avs were up 2-0 in that series. But I get you. Same opponent, same disappointing performance so far. Jake Evans was trying to start stuff, and other news, water's wet. You couldn't hit water if you fell out of a boat. All right, we will close the poll, and it was really neck and neck here, with just a slight preference or a slight favoring of the Hurricanes. And now the Canadiens will go on the power play. A penalty to Logan Stankoven, an upper body injury. I see. Yeah, they usually are pretty vague about this stuff, and a lot of times during the playoffs, they just don't report injuries, right? And then you always find out. You've been happy with Marner. That's an understatement, right? Marner, Eichel's been terrific. Theodore's been magnificent. And now we'll see if Cole Caulfield can be magnificent. He had the first goal for the Canadiens in the previous game. Hurricanes get the clear with the first 35 seconds gone by. Hand it off to Slafkovsky, and he'll do the old drop pass. Suzuki drawing two defenders, trying to move it down low for Slafkovsky, but that aggressive Hurricanes penalty kill. Able to get it out of the zone, and now Aho into the Montreal zone, handing it off to Miller. A drop pass, and the Hurricanes will just chew up some clock here as a minute has expired or has lapsed in the Canadiens power play. Montreal sending some new attackers over the board as Frenchman Alex Texier brings it into the Carolina zone. Looking down low, a little bank pass for Kirby Dach. Dobson. It's saying something when Dobson's your second power play quarterback, huh? Not to mention, Matheson, he held his own pretty well, I thought. Hope the Preds do much better next season. Good grief. Yeah, I think you guys got to kind of just rip off the Band-Aid and try to get some sort of let's just say an aggressive retool together. I know that you have, Stamkos and Marchessault on the books. Eric Robinson, and squeezing the pads there is Dobish on the shorthanded bid from this game's lone goal scorer. Yeah, what do you do if you're the Predators? You've got a couple of grizzled veterans who aren't quite producing up to par. Stamkos did come on stronger as that season progressed. Philip Forsberg, what is he right now? About 30, 31, and he's still performing at a very high level, right? But how many more prime years of him are you going to get? Evangelista on the youth side of things, he's not like the youngest guy on the team, but he's producing very well. He had a good improvement of his own. Do you ride kind of with this core of players and build around them, or do you try to actually, ship somebody out and hope to get a competent replacement, like for a Jonathan Marchessault or even Stamkos for that matter, if he would remove any trade protections he has? Wild as life. I have to see how much McCarron is going to resign. He played pretty well for you guys, though, right? Like, you wouldn't necessarily think that he was just a career fourth liner, but very, very limited Michael McCarron experience I have. All right, so the penalty has expired. Canadiens still have the zone here with Alex Carrier. Not quite cleared, turned over at the top of the zone. Gooley, high slot, chance in front. They score. It's Josh Anderson, and just like that, we've got ourselves a tie game on what I believe is Montreal's first shot of the game. Where's the goal horn? Damn it, where's my goal horn? Hold on. Montreal goal. Come on, I can do it. I have the goal horn here. Here we go. Yeah, you had down low, you had somebody not puck watching, but Nikishin just couldn't quite pick up Anderson in time. And I think that might have ramped off of Nikishin's stick or off of somebody's skate. And Freddie wasn't able to pick that up in time. And that is how the Canadiens get things tied up here. Josh Anderson, who I can't remember if he scored in the last game. But then again, in the last game, everybody scored, right? But in a game that's otherwise been dictated by the Carolina Hurricanes, the Canadiens able to hang tough and get the equalizer. Universal Habs, let's go. Oh, Cortana treat. Thank you. Very, very important that you hold me accountable. Here we go. Ready? Whoop. Good girl. Smash that like. Don't do it for me. Do it for my dog. Now Jordan Stahl, and that third line has been quiet so far. Granted, Stahl. Oh, he hit the post. Or did that go in? Play goes on. It looks like that hit the post. But that was an amazing pass there from Martinook. I do not know how the hell Stahl didn't score there. And the Canadiens dodging a bullet right after they equalize. I feel like we do well in the early series and then start struggling. I mean, getting the Kings is like a warm-up for a playoff series, but you put them away, and then Minnesota, you took care of business and had some rest, and then just unfortunately, Makar's injury is. I don't think that's an excuse by any means with how well this team achieved this year, but it certainly makes they look like a different team, right? They look like a different team. Maybe a turnover here as aggressively pursuing it is Hudson. Hurricanes able to regain possession, though. Miller floats it on the wing to Jarvis. He pulls up. He takes a hit from Doc. And skating up ice is Jake Evans. As will be fine. I hope you're right, Jeremiah. You think Colorado is going to win Game 3, says Pro Bowl? I mean, Vegas hasn't been unbeatable at home. Dobson. You're okay, girl. Cortana's whining. She does not like the results of these conference finals so far. Good stick there from Seth Jarvis. Floated into the neutral zone looking for Carrier. Gets around the defender. He puts on the backhand and it goes wide of Dobish. Now Slavin pinching in. Out in front for Carrier. He takes a couple whacks at it. Puck's still alive at the top of the zone for Chatfield. A shot. Blocked by the Montreal defense. And chipped down for Chatfield. And a puck coughed up by Slavin. He gets some support. And now Matheson with Robinson breathing down his neck. One shot for the Canadiens, one goal. I'd like to see Vegas and Carolina in the Cup final. Well, let's just say I don't want that result, but okay. I mean, that was something that people had been anticipating for a couple of years there, right? Those two teams meeting up in the final. Now Stankoven. 7 goals in the playoffs. He fans on a shot. Looks like he almost clipped Hudson there, but Hudson looks like he's okay. Now top of the zone, a shot blocked by Anderson. Stankoven. Nikishin, the cycle game for Carolina is strong, but a little bit of a miscue there. However, Texier coughs it up. He gets it back. And turned over at the top of the zone there for Stahl. Blake working against Hudson. And now we get a whistle here. Is it a hand pass? So that should come out of the zone. They've all been ghosts. Devon Taves. Marner would win a cup and Torts would. Hey, I'd be cool with Torts winning another cup. Like I'd be happy for him. Marner, I'm not gonna hate on the guy. You know, I'm not a Maple Leafs fan. I think that he really feels like he's in his element though. Like when you watch him interviewed after Game 1, he was, he seems as dialed in as he's ever been in his career. We got a commercial break here. So at least this first period, fortunately, is a little bit closer than the last game. Excuse me. Tomorrow's game between the Avalanche and Golden Knights will be at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific, as the series shifts to Sin City. My favorite team, asks Colin. I'm a lifelong Sharks fan. I'm from just south of San Jose, so the Sharks have always been my team, for sure. What's your team? We got Ethan joining us here. Good evening to you. I think the Habs can do it and beat two good teams. Yeah, I mean, as soon as they beat Tampa Bay, I literally put money on the Canadiens to go to the final from the Eastern Conference. So, I mean, when you show that maturity, you're not just like when you look at the Anaheim Ducks, right? They beat the Oilers. They're flying around. They look great, but they can't adapt to playing against the Golden Knights. They fight hard, but they lose in 6 games. Whereas the Canadiens, they're a team that has a lot of those same types of weapons and even more maybe than Anaheim. And they're able to shut down Tampa Bay. 5-on-5, Tampa Bay couldn't do a damn thing. Dobish stepped up. And against Buffalo, the result wasn't a whole lot different. And so, yeah, I just... And shoot, coming into this, they had such a good regular season against the Hurricanes as well. They beat them twice in March, you know? It's not like all those games were played in October and November. Oh, they were up 2-0. Okay. Postseason is the best part of the NHL. Postseason is the best part of all sports, I think. NHL playoffs, nothing beats it. Yeah, maybe you're a soccer fan. You want to watch some World Cup. I understand. Yeah, because you're a Lightning fan. Well, I think you can't be afraid to, be the first one, the ones to throw the first punch in the playoffs. You can call it gooning. You can call it, being chippy or dirty or whatever. But I've seen it time and time again, like where a lot of Stanley Cup winning teams have that, right? Have that in their DNA. The Panthers had that in their DNA. The Lightning had that a little bit in their DNA with that fourth line with, Corey Perry and Pat Maroon. Who was the other guy who was on there? I forgot. But yeah, they had a little bit of that themselves. And now Svechnikov gets hauled down by Struble. Struble's going to go to the box. One of the refs was right freaking there. So we're going to get a Hurricanes power play. Andrei Svechnikov draws a penalty. He hasn't done a whole lot besides that. Are we going to get one more commercial break as we're, under 4 to play in this period? Yeah, 3:24 left. So we'll get a Hurricanes power play. And the power play for the Hurricanes it's been the same thing that we've seen with the Hurricanes in the postseason, and that is underwhelming. It was actually ranked 4th in the NHL this past season, but they always try to get too cute on the power play in the playoffs. They don't get enough shots through. They don't shoot enough. It's just something that has always been a glaring weakness for them in the postseason. Sabres got robbed of. Yeah, I would have been frustrated about that too. I think that's legit. Man, and they were the best. I thought they were the better team in Game 7 as well. So I feel for you, but and I know it's not easy to feel this in the moment, but it was a very good season for them, and hopefully something for them to build on for next year. Maybe next time wear the goat head uniforms and could be a different result. I don't know. Dobish had a rough game, but he always does well the next game. Yeah, Montreal is 6-0, I think, after a defeat. Hedman might be. Is that really true? Like Hedman might actually. I didn't know it was that serious, but that would probably make for a big shift in direction for the franchise, honestly. Breezeball re-signed Sabrin or reassigned, re-signed. So you have your enforcer, Scott Sabrin, former San Jose Shark, who played 15 games. He's been more of kind of like in and out of the in and out of his leagues, right? He played 26 games this year. He only played 4 games for the Sharks. There we go. All right, Hurricanes power play. Here we go. Blake out there working it down low. Stankoven, and a great poke check there by Matheson. And the Canadiens able to send this the length of the ice. What's my dog's name? Asks Cortana. My dog's name is Cortana. Like, I don't know if you know video games, but Cortana, like the Halo series. Lots of questions in the offseason for the Penguins. True. I mean, even though they had a very good season, it's not something that you can expect to be sustainable just because of the age of the core. All right. First minute killed off by the Canadiens. Aho, contested puck. Good support by the penalty killers. Bumped ahead by Svechnikov. And in the corner, Svechnikov able to find the point. Good pressure from the Montreal PK so far. Here's Eers. Again, pretty quiet in the playoffs for him, albeit he's playing on a third line. Eers thought about the shot, works it down low, gets it back at the point. He shoots and just missing the top corner there. He'll get it back, though. Good retrieval. And now down low, and not being able to finish that was Svechnikov. Oh, and now a cross-check or a boarding by Svechnikov. Very ill-advised play there. Again, right in front of the ref as Josh Anderson goes down, and the Canadiens are going to get a power play in 21 seconds. That was boneheaded. I don't know what Svechnikov is thinking there. Will Quinn Hughes re-sign with the Wild? It's kind of hard to really think clearly with all the noise around that right now. I'm just trying to think of like Bill Guerin. I mean, he was able to get the Kaprizov deal done, right? You know what? If Quinn re-signs, I don't think it's going to be this offseason, though. I think it's going to take, he'll have to kind of see what happens with how the roster will be managed in the offseason, because he doesn't have to be signed until, the end of next year or trade deadline or whatever. So I think he's going to play it out for a while longer. And then, maybe we will see him re-sign in the middle of the season if things are going okay for the Wild there. Oh, and a chance that was not quite capitalized on by Slavin. As penalty winds down for the Canadiens and skating ahead. Do I think the Sharks would have beaten the Avalanche? And no, not at all. No, the Kings got swept. San Jose might have been able to steal a game, but I wouldn't have expected a damn thing. I don't think it would have been close at all, really. I mean, the Sharks won one game in overtime against the Avs this year, but they lost the other games by probably a margin of 12-3 or something. So now it's the Canadiens penalty power play, for a minute and change. And they were threatening. They were getting the puck down low. Carolina giving them some ice to work with. And that pass evades Demidov. He'll have to regroup. Boy, he's going to be a superstar, isn't he? I mean, he'll be a top 10 winger within the next 2 years, right? Hudson, the back pass, and taking it is Suzuki. Having a little trouble at the top of the zone. Skating it ahead is Aho, who is a good shorthanded threat, but can't quite cut into the middle of the ice as it's knocked away. Final 10 seconds of the period. Given away. Jarvis, Aho, 2-on-1. Here they come. Jarvis, and a nice block by Demidov. Otherwise, that could be headed for the back of the net. A final chance here from Miller. We get to the first intermission. It's not 4-1, but the Hurricanes, they have themselves a challenge that they have yet to face in this postseason until now. Brutality. We will be back. I got to see what this team looks like. But I will be confident that when Barkov comes back, he'll be able to have a good impact on the team, just like you normally would be. Kings should not let Kopitar go out like that. I mean, it's unfortunate that his career has to, I mean, when you think of it a little bit of a bird's eye level in recent years, like this decade, right? You know, 5 straight first round exits, but I mean, I think he's kind of seen that coming for a long time, right? The Kings probably said, we're going to do what we can. Just don't expect this to, to have a cup contender every year in your final years. Favorite NFL team, yours is the Bills. Well, we have something in common. Not that I'm a Bills fan, but I'm also a fan of a team that has never won a Super Bowl and has lost 4 Super Bowls. So take a wild guess. Jamie Benn and taking dumb penalties. That goes together like peanut butter and chocolate. At least he retires with 2 cups. Yeah, I mean, no doubt about that. First ballot Hall of Fame, or there could be a statue of him outside the arena. They made one for Dirty Dustin Brown, so they better make one for Kopitar. I missed hints watching the Yeah, I mean, you could shoot. I've been talking about Makar and how the Avs look like a completely different team. Maybe for the Stars, they feel like a completely different team. No, because my team has never won a Super Bowl. The Broncos have lost several. I think they've lost 5, but no, I'm a Vikings fan. Russell, what's going on? Hope you're enjoying your playoffs. And I hope you're looking forward to your first round draft picks. NHL draft just about a month away, fellas. And I do have a live stream scheduled for the first round of the draft next month. Of course, my Sharks are picking 2nd overall, so I want to see what happens, right? And we've also got the 20th overall pick, so I'm very curious to see what Mike Greer has in mind as the Sharks probably make their last top 5 pick for a long time. At least that's what I'm hoping. Ben needs to retire. Yeah, I mean, with Dallas, do you shake things up? Do you give it a little bit more time? I mean, even if you have a change in leadership, your roster is still going to be very similar. Although there's a lot of talk about Jason Robertson going somewhere else. You're thinking Chase Reed. I'm not going to be... See, the thing is that I won't be disappointed with whoever the Sharks pick. I'm kind of leaning more towards Stenberg, even though defense is a huge need for the team. But when you have somebody who's touted as maybe the best player in the draft, and you do have 20th overall, you have that pick, you have a lot of other assets. So if you want to trade up in the draft with 20 and get a better pick, maybe even draft as high as the top 10 after you've already gotten Stenberg, I'm totally open to that idea. Deadly Flames, what's going on? Thank you for hopping in here. If Dallas trades Robertsons to get Brady Tkachuk, that would be absurd. Does Robertson have any trade protection? I have no idea. Or wait, can you not have trade protection if you're an RFA? I don't know how that works. So 1-1 here. The Canadiens, how many shots do they have on goal so far? The Canadiens only have 2 shots on goal so far, but one of them goes in. It's off the stick of Josh Anderson, his 4th of the playoffs, assisted by Philip Deneau and Caden Gooley. Caden Gooley silently putting together some productivity in the offensive side. He's more of a defense first guy, but he's up to 8 assists. And on the other side of things, it was the 4th line for the Hurricanes doing some damage with Eric Robinson, his 2nd of the playoffs, assisted by William Carrier and Mark Jankowski, who during the playoffs earned himself a 2-year extension. I am chilling. I am curious to see what the Flames do in the draft. I think we need a piece. Well, what you need to do is probably get whatever you can at center if you really want to hone in on a position of need. I think that's probably in the Flames' best interest. But, that's another team that they have some good talent in their prospect pool, but, getting best player available, even if you do have more of a void at a certain position, I still think that anything will help them. I want the Devils to go after Matthew Nyes. Really? I like Nyes quite a bit. I mean, he could do the job that Timo Meier hasn't been doing such a good job of. I mean, man, it just hasn't worked out with Timo so much, has it? I find that a little bit fascinating. Sometimes I even forget about Timo. Just 24 goals and 20 assists in 77 games. Yeah, with Jersey, what's his point pace? 163. Let's take a look at this. I'm doing some math. I like crunching the numbers. Timo is producing at a 54-point pace. That's just not good enough for a guy who, hit 40 goals the year he got traded over to the Devils, and had been a 76-point player, basically a point per game player in 2021-22. Good morning from Germany, almost 2 a.m. Well, thank you so much for joining us. It's playoff hockey. I hope that we can entertain you and make your time here worthwhile. You would just go BPA? I mean, I think that's fair for Calgary. Meier needs to be put on right wing since he's been forced. Yeah, that does sound like something that could be problematic, because I can't remember the last time Timo played left wing for San Jose. He's always been a right wing as far as I know. Well, can't really look at what's happening around the NHL because it's just one game at this point. That's very sad, though, that, of course, at the end, or excuse me, at the beginning of this stream, let's remember, of course, Brent Taylor from Post to Post, and let's keep the Taylor family, Neil, the creator of Post to Post, let's keep him and his family in our thoughts here. But also very tragic how Kyle Busch passed away. He died from pneumonia and sepsis. That's very scary. I mean, pneumonia is something that takes a lot more lives than I think people understand. Oh, yeah, that's right. You have a new general manager. Well, you have some good youth pieces, right? You have a couple guys named Pedersen. You have, I like Vilander quite a bit. But now you have those pieces that you acquired from the Hughes trade. And overall, it seems like it's going to be beneficial for the Canucks to have Zeev Bouillon and Marco Rossi and Liam Ogren. So now can you find maybe hi girl. I mean, there's going to be Caleb Malhotra at the draft, right? Everybody's talking about that. Who's going to coach the Oilers? Yeah, is it going to be Bruce Cassidy? Or will he go to Toronto? I'm also curious to see if the Canucks will entertain a trade with one of their goaltenders. Would the Canucks consider trading Thatcher Demko? Because he's had too many injury troubles in recent years. But I think that somebody who's desperate, like the Oilers, I don't know if you would trade directly with them, but there would be a team out there that would overpay for an injured goaltender, I think. All right. Well, looking at the first period statistics, 7 shots on goal for the Hurricanes, just 2 for Montreal. But we saw the scoreboard. 63% in the faceoff circle for the Hurricanes to 36 for the Canadiens. Hurricanes have thrown 14 hits despite having the puck a little bit more. Giveaways pretty close, 7-6. Montreal with 7 of those. Hi, Cortana. Let's see if anybody had an unusual amount of ice time. Cole Caulfield and Nick Suzuki over 7 minutes apiece. Slavkovsky right there with them, 6:59. Lane Hudson played 9 minutes and 23 seconds already. And on the Hurricane side of things, 8:43 from Keandre Miller to lead the defense. And from the forwards, nobody over 7 minutes, I don't think. No. 6:49 for Seth Jarvis, 6:42 for Sebastian Aho. Just 4:29 for Stankoven. That's kind of surprising. But then again, I think that was he the one who took the penalty? He did, yeah. Elliot Friedman threw out Jay Woodcroft for LA and Toronto. Interesting. Woodcroft, coached the Oilers before Chris Knobloch, and before Jay Woodcroft, I want to say it was Todd McClellan who actually had Woodcroft under him as an assistant. Man, wait. Well, Matt Malhotra hasn't been announced as the head coach, right? Like, it's pretty much a given that Manny Malhotra is going to coach the team, but that would be really interesting. I always have a bit of a soft spot for Manny Malhotra. He only played 1 year for the Sharks, but he was very good. So I'm glad to see him succeeding as a coach in the NHL. And I was hoping that I was hoping that Adam Foote would be a good NHL head coach. I mean, I think he was dealt a bad hand, right? With Quinn Hughes being traded. But yeah, it's just a shame that things went south so quickly for Vancouver. And even though they'll get a really good player for the draft, it is unfortunate they didn't win the draft lottery. I would have liked to see Vancouver pick 1. I mean, San Jose can keep number 2. I cannot believe the freaking Sharks got number 2. Midnight Solar, hey, welcome back. What is good? Well, the Hurricanes penalty killing is still pretty good. I'll throw that out there. And we're celebrating Mrs. Twister's birthday tomorrow with a couple of fun activities. But one thing that I'm especially looking forward to is the pie that I picked up. So we've got this great pie shop in town. And so her favorite's key lime pie. So I definitely ordered one of those. And then also I got one that is cookie butter. A cookie butter pie. If anybody is familiar with Trader Joe's cookie butter, or it's kind of like speculoos, like it's like a Biscoff cookie if that was made into peanut butter. Yeah. Will the Bills and Vikings make the playoffs? At least you have the advantage of playing in a division that has the Patriots, but the Jets and the Jets and the Dolphins, not particularly good. So I think the Bills could still get back to the postseason, even with a new head coach. The Vikings, I'm not as confident about them. I think that they could be probably a 7 or maybe an 8-win team, but maybe they could surprise me, because I was saying the same thing 2 years ago, and with Sam Darnold, they won 14 games. I don't think Kyler Murray is going to be Sam Darnold in 2024, but I think things will be better for the Vikings as it pertains to the quarterback play. There are definitely some question marks, though, that prevent me from thinking that they'll be a playoff team. But prepare for the worst, hope for the best. But I'm not thinking about hope too much. You're thinking Merge Lakins gets traded. Interesting. That's right, because you guys have Jet Greaves. Cookie butter pie, tell you more. The shop is called Birdies, like in golf. Birdies Pie Shop, in Hayden, Idaho. Yeah, so if you want to see a picture of that, you can get a pic. I don't know what else they put in that pie, but it certainly sounds amazing as somebody who loves cookie butter, and not to mention like Trader Joe's cookie butter ice cream. So tasty. NHL is Avalanche and Denver Broncos, of course. Every time the Broncos have gone to the Super Bowl, as far as I've watched football, so like 30 years or whatever, I've always wanted the Broncos to win in the Super Bowl. Against Green Bay, especially as a Vikings fan, check. Against the Falcons, after the Falcons beat the Vikings in the NFC Championship game, check. Against the Seahawks in 2013, well, that was a historically amazing offense, but then they finally got the deal done just about 15 minutes away from where I was living at the time in Santa Clara, and Peyton Manning rode off into the sunset as Super Bowl champion, even though he really had nothing to do with the win in that game. What kind of dog is Cortana? Yes, one of the most common questions, and for good reason. Cortana is a McNabb Shepherd Coonhound German Shepherd mix. She's one of a kind. She might even have other breeds in her. I have no idea. That snow match against the Patriots was brutal. Hey, what's up, Nick? How you doing, man? What were your conference final predictions? That I would like to know, because I know you were high on the Canadiens going into this current season. You're still thinking it's going to be Cassidy in Edmonton? Laviolette. Oh, yeah, Laviolette. And Tortorella, Vegas doesn't keep him. Well, shoot, it's hard to imagine the Golden Knights without Tortorella, just how well they played. But, you know, I would definitely be happy for Torts if he won another Stanley Cup. And on the subject of dogs, that's one thing I really do like about Torts is that he does a lot for rescue groups and animal welfare and canine welfare. So gotta love that. Please, Columbus, change the logo to the cannon. It's interesting because I think I've heard before somebody say like it's not really like a hockey logo so much. It's more of like a soccer logo. One sec. Carbonation. But I mean, it's so beautifully crafted. You know, I'd love one season, like a test run. I want a test run with the Canon logo on the front of a Blue Jackets jersey. Not the current home jersey, not just a logo swap, but give me the Canon jersey or give me a new jersey with the Canon on it. Will the Sabres let Tuck walk? I could see it to where they'll still offer something up for him, but I don't think they should expect him to stay. When you have somebody like Konsta Helenius and you have Zach Benson, when you have players taking big steps forward and showing signs of good things to come, you don't necessarily need a 30-year-old who didn't have any points in the second round, you know? Not that I don't like Tuck, but I think from a business decision standpoint, it's probably a better idea if they let him walk. Because he's going to be asking for, $11 million, I would think. Yes, PG-13 hockey man. Rest in peace to the GOAT, Brent Taylor. And our thoughts and our feelings are with the Taylor family. Going into the playoffs, I had Tampa and Ottawa. Oh, in the conference final. Oh, yeah, you liked Ottawa too, yeah. You didn't like the Montreal versus Tampa matchup going into it. I see. I am in misery. Yeah, and then you saw the Leafs get the first overall pick, right? So I feel you. But I also feel that logo. That logo is so great. I love it. Anyway, we're back to the action, by the way. First full minute gone by already. Evans not able to keep this in the Carolina zone, but the Canadians knock it around for Anderson to play. Freddie Anderson. And now losing a handle there is Gooley. Jarvis trying to strip it from him. And Caden Gooley, who had himself a very strong game one, And the Habs are offside right now. I'm happy Montreal's proving why you had them go into the cup final. Oh, you did have them go into the cup final. Damn, son. I strangely picked them in 2021 before that season started. That's like one of 2 times where I've actually made a good prediction on this channel. I had Montreal going to the final in my preseason back then. And then first full season on this channel, I had the Blues winning the Stanley Cup before the season started. So that's my claim to fame, and it's been a complete nosedive ever since. Red Wings almost made the playoffs, and you fell off. Yeah, I know that the fans were booing the team off the ice in their final home game. I mean, yikes. It's been a decade of misery. Turned over. Wait. Oh, I thought Carrier was going to score there. Jankowski almost got himself one as Dobish is getting tripped up with a stick that's in his crease. I don't know whose stick that is. It's not his own. And then he finally throws it aside for the official. That nice heads-up play there from Jakob Dobish. And Anderson, facing heat from Anderson, able to rim that around. It'll go the length of the ice, but no icing. As Taylor Hall and now Stankoven get in on the forecheck. Chatfield, he's going to have to hurry. Able to get this cleared. And now Jackson Blake. Shaken Blake. Backhander over the net. Pinching in his Chatfield. Centers it. Moved back to the point for Blake. Down low, looking for a little tip play with Taylor Hall. Hall, I still think, is the leading scorer for the Hurricanes in these playoffs. And that second line getting some good zone time. Blake looking in front. He had Stankoven there. But that was well defended. Good body positioning there from the Montreal defense. Omega Fish is back in the building with the Mammoth. How old is Cortana? Is Cortana friendly? Cortana is definitely a people dog. She's just not that social with other dogs. Like she just likes to have her personal space to herself. But yeah, she loves people. And she's 12. Here you go, girl. Cortana's making a great recovery. She has had 2 knee surgeries in the past 3 years. And just a couple months ago, she dinged up her knee as that shot doesn't quite get through to Anderson. And so I just took her in for physical therapy. No, I didn't want her to have any more surgeries, and she's looking really good. Like I got her a new soccer ball. I can just boot that sucker and she'll run after it. She's doing really good. Next season for the Mammoth, I mean, hey, Cooley, Gunther. I think that there are still improvements that can be made to the roster, but that was a fun team to watch this year. Now I'm glad that you have some hope for next year. I was hoping that, at least when the Coyotes left Arizona, they could give the fans something to cheer for a couple of years there, and it just didn't quite happen. But good for that group of players, right? So yeah, that, by the way, that stick that Dobish was fighting off in the crease, that literally got lodged in his skate blade. Or yeah. Here's Caulfield. Pad save easily from Freddie Anderson. That's just the 3rd shot on goal for the Canadiens so far. Backhanded into the neutral zone. Couldn't quite handle that was Jarvis. Ovi fan. Hey, howdy, hey. What's going to happen with Ovi? I think we had a Capitals fan here last time saying that he was interested in staying. Maybe that was you. I can't remember. Oh, a little bit wide of the crease there from Svechnikov. As I do think this top line for Carolina needs something going their way. They need to put one in the back of the net. Despite what Jarvis did to start game 1. Jarvis back pass. Walker around Newhook. And a good stick there from Matheson. Still alive in the Montreal zone, though. Aho finds the point. Miller around the net. And a good defensive support there from Evans. Newhook finally able to get this puck clear, and now Demidov 2-on-2, and he'll just chip it down. Sean Dursey and Keller. I mean, Keller still doesn't get talked about enough, does he? Now here comes Carrier. Oh, he has... Oh, my gosh, Jankowski was right there in the crease. Fourth line looks good for the Hurricanes tonight, especially. And it was Eric Robinson from that group potting the lone Hurricanes goal. A good indirect pass for Anderson. He comes in with speed around the net, looking there for Deneau. And now Texier taking it around the net once more. Looking for the point there, but cleared by the Hurricanes with the first 6:20 gone by. Based on the way this is going, the Habs will win. Just watch as much as you hate them. I mean, it doesn't exactly work in the Hurricanes' favor that it's the conference final, but Montreal was the dominant team in the regular season with 2 of those games happening in March. We signed Liljegren to a 2-year deal. Yeah, how did he work out? I just was not a fan of him that much in San Jose, but you know, it just could be that he didn't have the right. It could have been that it wasn't the right fit for him. Excuse me. We got, at least from my counter here, we got about 20 people hanging out with us here. If you could please kindly leave a like. Don't do it for me. Do it for my super cute dog Cortana. And don't forget, if you give a super chat, I will give her a super treat. I don't have any other streams lined up. Oh, and then it shows me like 6 people jump. We don't have any other streams lined up right now for the playoffs, but check back. That could always change. We will be live for the first round of the NHL draft in about a month, as my San Jose Sharks are drafting 2nd overall. So I'm very intrigued by that. And they also have 20th overall due to the Oilers. Conference final for the Canes and President's Trophy for the Avs. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Because, yeah, it was 2021 when the Avs won the President's Trophy, right? Also, like Charlie Lindgren. Yeah, he's made a really good home there, as has Logan Thompson. And goodbye, Huckleberry Madness Wheat Ale. Might have to have another one in a little bit. He shoots, he scores. Although I don't, I got to start collecting coasters or koozies for every NHL team. I've got a Red Wings one from Dan, one of our moderators. I've got this one from the Kraken's inaugural season. I got to watch this one, but I went to the arena there for that. Who else do I have a cozy? I have a koozie for the Bruins. It's not actually Bruins branded, but we got a 10 spot here from Eric. Go Bolts, go Rays, and go treats for Cortana. And yes, treats, plural, multiple treats will give Cortana. Whoop, as that apple skips through my hands. We got Darth Jedi. Here you go, girl. Ready? Well, when it comes to the Force, I am on the shark side of things, but I feel you. All right. We are back from the commercial. Thank you so much, Eric. Here, we'll give Cortana one more. Whoop. There we go. A trio of treats. And skating this out is Eric Robinson looking on the wing for Carrier. Good back check from Kirby Doc. Knocked down. No, not staying in the zone there for the Hurricanes. We are going to get a high touch or a hand pass with 13:05 left in the period. Logan Thompson was a great, fantastic trade. He's done very well there. Still not sure why Vegas chose Hill over Thompson. Yeah, I know, because it's not like Aiden Hill hasn't had an injury history. But I guess they were just looking too much at 2023. So it's kind of like, it's not the worst decision in that moment, but in hindsight, it does kind of feel like that, right? We're in the middle of the period. All right. Can the Flyers, they certainly can look at that as a learning experience. Oh, here we go. Here you go, girl. Whoop. Favorite MLB team is the Yankees, but you also like the Jays and the Tigers. Yeah, I was gonna say I would think it'd be the Jays, but if you're in New York State, you could easily root for the Yankees. My favorite baseball team also used to be in New York. They're the good guys though. The good guys up north. That's the San Francisco Giants. The last true dynasty of the MLB. Now Slavin behind the net against Suzuki, able to chip this out. Yeah, Hart's been he's been playing probably the best hockey of his career right now. I would love to see the Flyers improve next season. And I mean, that division is not going to be particularly a juggernaut. And get a full season of Martone out there for Philadelphia. And that could make a huge difference for them. I still think they've got, they need to still have a true number one center. But then again, I mean, like, they don't even have. They have a number one defenseman. I like Sanheim, definitely. But I don't know. Let's just hope that however they play under Rick Tocchet, let's hope they can just build on that, I guess. Because there's something about Tocchet when he first goes over to a team. He's able to get teams in the playoffs pretty quickly. All right, now in the Montreal zone, Svechnikov has it stripped by Demidov. And now a neutral zone turnover by the Canadiens. Aho buying some time, hits the trailer. He's got Walker, but nothing but white jerseys around the puck. Hopefully Mishkov. Yeah, the Mishkov situation. It's amazing that they had as good of a year as they did with the way things have been, Oh. Canadiens cycling as taking a high stick there was Walker. Play goes on. Here, I need some water. Yeah, Dean, I'd be curious to see if a team like Philadelphia would entertain a trade for somebody like Thatcher Demko. But it can't be Eers in net. Vladar, he had an awesome year for them. Is he going to be? Yeah, that's a great question. Is he going to be the true number one going forward? I wouldn't. I would think that they would. Oh, shoot. Chance here for Anderson. A one-timer. And it goes just wide of Anderson. Off the feed from Anderson. Just not the same Anderson. Carrier in the corner. Stankov in there to support. He floats it over to Nikishin at the point. Nikishin, a shot. Rims around. Collected by Gostisbehere. And now around the net. A good drive there from Carrier. Carrier's had a nice game. A one-timer Nikishin and blocked by Suzuki. Or excuse me, Deneau. If someone asked me to go to a Kings game, I could stomach going to a Kings game, sure. I've got other nemesis in sports that the Kings aren't as high as you might expect, but they are the Joker to the Sharks Batman. Like, even though I always hate them, I need that rival. That they are the true rival. Kane's building a lot of zone time here with Jankowski out there. Robinson cycled along a shot, and Dobish maybe getting a piece of that one. But the puck is loose and still alive in the zone. And now we're going to get a penalty to the Canadiens. It's going to be an interference call. And Carolina will go back on the power play with under 9 minutes left in the second period. Oh, there we go. RIP Bridgeport Islanders. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I mean, it's good to see another team in Hamilton because it's such a huge area, the greater Toronto area, and like Hamilton's far away enough to where they really need a team of their own besides what they have the Hamilton Bulldogs, or at least they used to. I can't remember if they're still around, but yeah, that is very unfortunate for fans of Connecticut hockey and in that region. Montreal has only 4 shots on goal. Yeah, Anderson has not been tested at all. Yeah, I see 4 shots for Montreal, only 10 for Carolina. I mean, they are the Corsi gods, right? Vladar is the guy. He was team MVP. I think the Flyers could move on from Ersson and get a new backup. Would I say go Dodgers if somebody asked me for it? You could give me $200 and I wouldn't say it. No way. Like, I'm somebody who, when it is my time to be put into the ground, I will literally say, like, I would literally have on my coffin, Dodgers suck or something like that. I am that kind of person. Although I'll probably ask to be cremated instead. But anyway, that's its own discussion. Well, I got some lip balm. All right. So Hurricanes power play coming up here. They are over 1, and for the playoffs, I don't think it's anywhere close to 20% for them. What's going to happen with Barzell? Excuse me. I didn't think that anything was going to happen with Barzell. I haven't heard of any trade rumors or anything like that. I would have on your theoretical coffin, Yankees suck. All right. Hurricanes start things strong. They win the faceoff. They had a lot of problems with that earlier in the postseason, if I recall correctly. All right, we got just a big tie-up along the boards, including 3 skaters from Montreal. Hurricanes, though, able to find the point. Goss to spare. Down low, Jarvis. And a one-timer, and getting a piece of that, I think, was Newhook. Play goes on in the Montreal zone as the first 40 seconds have gone by. Jarvis lost a handle on that. Able to find the point again. A shot, and not quite on goal as they were trying to set up a tip play. Ooh, nice keep in there. Hurricanes still holding onto the puck. A minute left on this power play. No shots on goal yet. Crowd getting a little bit louder to cheer on their team. One-timer, and breaking a stick there was, couldn't see if that was Svechnikov. Still not cleared yet, though. Penalty killers for Montreal are probably pretty tired right now. Down to 35 seconds. One-timer from Goss to spare, and it rims around. Collected by Aho. Now down to 20 seconds. Aho. Svechnikov, one-timer. Toward the net. Dobish scrambling. Still alive. Svechnikov and trying to find somebody right in the crease. And this actually comes all the way out. So the Canadiens come away unscathed. And those penalty killers will probably want a couple minutes on the bench. And now skating the other way is Newhook. On the wing for Bolduc. Blocked by Jackson Blake. And now another chance there that gets the caroms from behind the net. Fourth line working away here for the Canadiens. Just over 6 minutes left in the game. A shot doesn't quite get through. Taking a whack at it was somebody from Montreal, but now Stankoven skating the other way. His pass is immediately blocked, and the Canadiens will regroup. You like Martin St. Louis as a head coach? I mean, shoot. I can't remember, though. Was he a Jack Adams finalist? I mean, I know that the playoffs aren't a factor, but man, it really shows that he is quickly rising among the best coaches in the game today. Now Struble trying to get this away from Miller, and Keandre Miller able to start things get things going the other way. Dobish playing it over to Suzuki. And the Hurricanes, lots of pressure here in the neutral zone. Eers, almost stripped it away. That would have been something interesting going the other way. Suzuki, good job steering or turning himself away from the oncoming checker. And this puck should go down for icing, I believe. Yeah, icing with 5:01, just like the Levi's jeans. As that power play has now expired. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, Canadiens still stuck on just 4 shots on goal. But remember what happened in Game 7 against the Lightning. Earmuffs if your name is Eric. Maybe a chance here, and good block there from Slavin. Another shot. Oh, Anderson might have gotten a piece of that with his pad. Slavin. He'll sky this into the neutral zone. Retrieved by Caden Gooley. And a good entry pass for Alex Texier. Slavin able to get a poke on it. And now a loose puck for Anderson to play deep. And Freddie Anderson will hand it off to his defenseman. Down to 420. Oh, that actually hit something iron there by the Hurricanes. I have no idea what happened there. But yeah, this game has certainly looked different than Game 1. And I mean, typically Game 1 usually has the most speed, right, in open ice play. But I mean, it was just crazy seeing the Hurricanes defense just self-destruct immediately. A chance there by Jankowski. I don't know if he quite got that on net, but that was a nice little cut to the middle. He kind of did a McKinnon move there. Here comes Ivan Demidov. Back pass. And now Hurricanes getting something going perhaps with Jankowski once again. Behind the net for Carrier. Looking for the point, but Chatfield couldn't quite cover. So with 3:10 left, he'll take this puck behind his net. And now with some speed, here comes Ehlers. Oh, nice move. He shoots, he scores! Nikolai Ehlers, what a beautiful goal. And the Hurricanes retake the lead. What an absolutely beautiful goal from Nikolai Ehlers. Maybe not Mitch Marner level, but not very far off from it. As he puts on the fake spin move, gets that puck through Hudson's stick and through the wickets of Dobish as the Hurricanes get back in front 2-1. That was a hell of a goal. Mikro, what's going on? Colorado down 2-0. The President's Trophy curse may strike yet again. What a disappointment, man. And it sucks that Cale Makar hasn't been on the ice just yet in that series. But yeah, that was a fantastic goal. That might be the most impressive goal the Hurricanes have scored. And I think something like this really helps them. They're just not a team that finishes all that well. But in this case, that's why you get Nikolai Ehlers. So you have somebody who can finish plays like that. And yeah, a fantastic goal. And probably the best he's scored as a Hurricane in his first year. And now Chance Matheson. And Montreal sending some traffic to the net there. But the Hurricanes not quite able to clear it just yet. Down to 2:10 in the second period. And after this, I must use the restroom, or as they say in Canada, depending on where you live, the washroom. Stankoven. Yeah, still just 4 shots on goal. So Anderson didn't even have to save that last one. A turnover, Aho, and good heads-up play from Suzuki, but still not cleared. Another chance there, and Svechnikov put it just wide. Somebody else who could definitely buy a goal for the Hurricanes. Stone hasn't played in 60. I know. And the crazy thing is that they don't look like it. Yeah, they don't look that different without him there. We'll get an icing to the Canadiens with $1.18 left. $14-5, the shots favor the Hurricanes. Although Montreal, who lost a bunch of draws in the first period, has actually gone ahead of Carolina in the faceoff circle. And a shot from the point and saved by Dobish. He'll cover up with his glove. You're thinking Makar would play tomorrow. Yeah, it's kind of one of those things where it's not just him, but like these guys, it's amazing the injuries they play through. So you would think like when you're down 2-0, yeah, this is when you actually have to suit up. Even though he probably should not be out there at all. I don't know if anybody's following the NBA. I'm just learning this right now, but the Knicks are up in their series against the Cavaliers 2-0. And in game 3, the Knicks have a 29-19 lead right now in the first quarter. On the other side of things, what? Aren't the Spurs leading their series against the Thunder? I want to say they are, but no, actually, I'm sorry. The Spurs won game 1, but the Thunder have won the last 2. So game 4 between the Thunder and Spurs will be tomorrow. That will be an 8 o'clock Eastern game on NBC and Peacock. If Vegas wins the Stanley Cup, they could do something similar to what the Blackhawks did. Well, there was a 3-year gap between the Hawks winning in 2010 and 2013. The flop advantage is with the Thunder. Yeah, I don't remember a Greg Popovich team ever being serious floppers, but I could be wrong. Okay, final minute and change here. As the Canadiens were able to win another draw in this period. They've done an awesome job of that. And here they come with some numbers, but they're actually offside right now. How many years did Greg Popovich coach, by the way? 1996 to 2025 as a head coach. Wow. Unreal. Just with one team. Hopefully the Knicks can win it all. I can't watch the NBA more. It's a terrible product. Yeah, I mean, like, I'd be okay with the Knicks winning too. Yeah, it's funny, actually. We could almost get that 1999 final again with the Spurs and Knicks, but looking like OKC. At least so far. Dobish. Around the net. Not quite clear. Shot from the point. Looking for the tip there was Martinook. And the Hurricanes attack keeps coming, and they're actually going to draw a high stick or no? No, the officials did not call that. And hobbling to the bench, I can't see who that is for Carolina, but looks like William Carrier is the one who the damage was done to. 15 seconds. Hudson just going to hang on to this from his own zone. Oh, maybe a chance here. Here comes Suzuki. He skates in. Oh, and that was another changeup, but Anderson was able to stay with it. That nearly was a tied game. I mean, Suzuki healed the puck, or he lost a little bit of control there. So heading into intermission, and who's down for the Hurricanes now? Is that Keandre Miller? And we have a little bit of I wouldn't say disagreements. It's not particularly physical out there, but Keandre Miller is slow to get up for the Hurricanes. I don't see what happened there. Of course, William Carrier had gotten the high stick at the other end of the ice. But on that play, they're showing Suzuki. What did Svechnikov get a piece of that? And then Svechnikov might have actually gotten a piece of that. That would have been a goal-saving play there. And then Texier, he sticks not a spear, but not far off from it. He gets Keandre Miller where the sun don't shine. So Montreal, not exactly the most gentlemanly way to close out the period. We're actually going to get a penalty here. They're reviewing for a 5-minute penalty? Is that what I'm hearing? That could potentially be a major penalty. Granted, they review it. They usually call the 5-minute penalty, and then they review it later on so that they could potentially downgrade it. But that is an awful play from Alex Texier. Yeah, let's take a look one more time. I mean, Texier was looking right at Miller's junk right there. Yeah, Eddie Olczyk thinks this should be a major. Montreal needs 9 more goals. Yeah, your prediction's a little off so far. I mean, plenty of hockey left, right? It's just going to be a minor penalty. Jeez. They're getting off easy there. I mean, Jesus. And they're calling it, they say they were calling it a slashing and not a spear. Yeah, Olczyk can't believe it. So yeah, the Hurricanes will get a power play when we come back for the third, but fortunately for the Canadiens, it's just for 2 minutes. Would the Vikings have beaten the Bears in the wild card? I mean, I would actually like to say they would have had a chance, but I mean, they had no way. I mean, they were 4-8. They won 5 in a row, and they benefited from having like an easier schedule down the stretch or playing teams that were either really injured. I'm glad they won those games just for the morale of the team, but no. I mean, they matched up well against the Bears that year, but no, I would never have expected anything like that. Let's see here. So this is second intermission. I got to give the Hurricanes a power play, though. All right, guys. I got to take off for like literally 2.5 minutes so I can use the restroom. Watch Cortana for me, all right? So I'll give you guys What a good girl. Smash that like for Cortana because she's being so good. So good as always. Vikings would have done better, but the QB situation was not great. Yeah, and it wasn't just McCarthy, right? Like, yeah, Max Brosmer going into Seattle and getting completely shut out, right? They know JJ's not. You think that they know JJ's not the guy? I'm not quite there yet. I mean, they got Kyler Murray for league minimum. Would they have pursued a different quarterback if Kyler wasn't available? I think so, but I think it was more just like some insurance with a kid he just turned 23, McCarthy. So it's like, I can wait it out a little bit longer, but I get why people are, saying JJ's not the guy, because I mean he was awful. He had some really cool, fun moments, but altogether the body of work is not particularly good. 10 games in. Kyler Dinklage. Oh geez. But thankfully, the Vikings don't have to play at the near the electrical substation in Santa Clara. They have to go to Mexico City, where I believe the 49ers fans will probably outnumber the Vikings fans 3-1. But that'll be interesting, right? Would the Lions have made the playoffs if they? Could they have upset the Bears? I'm not as tuned into the NFL. Granted, I do watch divisional play. All right. I'll follow what the Lions and the Bears and the Packers are doing. I mean, Detroit just doesn't have the defense to stop Chicago. Bears had a pretty solid offense, and Ben Johnson. I mean, I know that it's not like you had, if like Aaron Glenn was going up against Ben Johnson, if Aaron Glenn was still the DC with Detroit and Detroit was healthy, I'd give him a shot. I'd give them a shot. But no, I don't think the Lions could have done that either. Oh man, a good game though. I mean, granted, with Montreal, they haven't had a whole lot of opportunities, but it's good to see though that this game hasn't been decided at this point. So again, to rehash the goal scoring so far, my friends, things got started at 2:33 in the first period. So another early goal to start this game. Eric Robinson got on the board, assisted by William Carrier and Mark Jankowski. The fourth line for Carolina tonight has been very solid, I think. But tying things up at 11-11 was Josh Anderson, his fourth of the playoffs, assisted by Philip Deneau and Caden Gooley. So some good depth production for the Canadiens. It's not just Suzuki and Caulfield and Demidov getting the job done for them. Then in the second period, the lone goal scored at 17:03. Just a beautiful goal. They're showing it right now by Nikolai Ehlers, the Great Dane. Actually, one of two on Carolina, with this great shot to put it past Dobish as he's shifting laterally, tuck it through the 5-hole. That's his third of the playoffs, assisted by Slavin and Chatfield. But Montreal, they've been winning the face-off competition, the face-off. They've been winning the face-off battle. I don't know how to phrase that properly, but they've turned things around in the face-off circle. They only have 5 shots on goal so far, though, and they're going to be shorthanded to start this third period. Albeit they haven't allowed a power play goal in this series so far. Carolina is, I think, 0 for 4 on the power play now in this series. All the Lions had to do was make the playoffs. To make the playoffs was either beat the Steelers or the Vikings. I know you were going up against, if you're a Detroit fan, you were going up against Max Brosmer on Christmas Day, and you got absolutely stymied by the Brian Flores defense. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if Detroit can rebound after what was kind of a disappointing year for them. I mean, they still had a winning record technically, but there were higher hopes, I think, even with the loss of their coordinators this past season. It's just such a difficult division, right? Because Green Bay is always going to be good, and Chicago took just a massive step forward in the first year under Ben Johnson. They signed Evans with his history as of late. The 49ers. I don't even know. I can name like two players on their roster, so I don't know who he is. All right. Yeah, I mean, I wish I had more to fill the air here during intermission, but without other hockey games, it's kind of hard to, there's only so much I can say about one series or two series in this case with the conference final. But I do like the Hurricanes game tonight. It feels more like a Hurricanes home playoff game. They control possession. But at the end of the day, the score is just 2-1, just like a lot of other games that they play in. Oh, Mike Evans. That's right. That's right. Well, let's see here. He didn't have 1,000 yards this last year. I don't know if it was because of injuries, but they definitely needed help at receiver. Yeah, he only played 8 games this past year. Jeez, I didn't know he was out for that much. So that's kind of a wash. I mean, the guy, 1,000 yards in every single season. He's got over 13,000 for his career, and he's not even 33 yet. So that is very accomplished, and he does have a Super Bowl to his name as well. So good luck with him, and thanks for Juwan Jennings, I guess, even though it was a free agency sort of thing. But yeah, I'm hoping that things can work out well for both receiving cores. Brandon Cooks caught the ball against Detroit. Wait, was that or against Denver for the Bills? I know, like, people are saying that they got the rule correct. I do not care. I do not care. That was a catch. That was a clear catch. Possession, 2 feet down, and a football move. Like, I don't see how that's an interception. That wasn't it ruled an interception? That was the stupidest thing I've ever seen, really. Yeah, Juwan Jennings. Yeah, Juwan Jennings too. I mean, that gives him a good red zone target, because like Jefferson, as great of a receiver as Jefferson is, first of all, last year he wasn't good at all. It wasn't just the quarterback play. Like, he dropped passes. He uncharacteristically never drops. Ruthless Sharky, how you doing? I'm thinking I've got Team Teal on the horizon. I'm so excited for this upcoming draft. It's going to be a good time. But yeah, Jennings can also block too, so that's pretty great. Aaron Rodgers is playing for Pittsburgh, and he said it's the last year for him. I mean, I would be surprised if he wanted to play for Pittsburgh a year after this year. But yeah, at least he made up his mind, and it's May and not, I don't know, August or whatever. And third down reliability, yeah, good, because we lost our third receiver as well, Jalen Naylor, going to the Raiders. But that was a pick. Maybe I misinterpreted the rules, but dude, just from the eye test, I think that's just lame. Like, I do not know how that can be an interception. But anyway, he's familiar with Jordan Mason. Yeah, Mason was a good pickup. He can definitely break some tackles. Yeah, sure. Do I play retro games with that CRT TV? Yeah, I do. I've got a decent collection. That's what you see in the bins behind me here. So I've been like finding some game stores nearby. Here, I'll show you what I got recently. Yeah, I used to run a video games community. It was like an actual in-person community, and so that's how I got back into collecting old video games. I don't have a whole lot of cartridge games. I have like a decent collection for Nintendo 64, but I'm mostly these days because they're still pretty affordable. I'm getting like a lot of games from PS2 and original Xbox. So like, I never played Tony Hawk Underground 2. When I was in high school, I played Thug 1, and I loved all the Tony Hawk games before that. So I had to get Thug 2, and hopefully we'll play that once I get my PS2 disc reader fixed. But yeah, we got a couple of local game shops in this area, and I don't really know of a scene for that kind of thing out here in Spokane, North Idaho. But yeah, it's really good to see people running businesses like that. We got the nice little double feature here with Sega GT, but really you get it for Jet Set Radio feature. I won this many years ago at a gaming tournament. Not this exact copy, but when I opened it up when I got home, there was no disc in there, so I never actually got to play it. So got that. Let's see here. Today I also picked up. Okay, good. There's some people here who might appreciate these kinds of things. It's intermission, so we have to pass the time. I never played Unreal Tournament 3. I loved Unreal Tournament 2003 and the original UT as well on computer. So I have to give this a go. The person at checkout said this was actually really fun. Last weekend or a couple weekends ago, I got an old NHL game. Of course, I'm going to get, as a Sharks fan, I'm going to get the one with Joe Thornton on it. I played this a decent amount, but it was 2K6 that I personally had, and I just played that nonstop for like 7 months, and a lot of fun memories with my friends there. And then I got a couple of classic PS1 games. Wild 9 is something I only ever played the demo for, but the developer of this was Shiny Entertainment, and they made one of my favorite computer games of all time. It was also on PlayStation, and they made a sequel of it called MDK. But this was something that I enjoyed, even though it was just a single level. I figured I'd give it a shot from them. And then today, I had not seen this in a small game shop ever until today. Grind Session. There was Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Everybody was talking about that. But from what I recall, Grind Session did it pretty damn well as well. So I absolutely had to add that to the collection too. Yeah, you used to play UT. Right on. Got to get your PS2 fixed so you can play the real greatest sports game developer of all time, 2K. Absolutely. NFL 2K is the GOAT. 2K5 is the greatest football game of all time. And the NBA 2K games were amazing. NHL 2K, very strong as well. We got Jake in the building. What's up? Good evening to you. Sunny Meta, what are you going to do to cook this off season? Make sure that Jack Hughes doesn't request a trade. I don't know. You need some help in goal for sure. I've been throwing around the name Thatcher Demko for like one or two other teams out there, Philadelphia being one of them. But I think that Jersey could probably use an upgrade in net more. But it was more from the side of the Canucks. It would probably be appropriate, I think, to trade Demko at this point. But what would the asking price be? Peace from Australia. Well, wonderful to have you here. Thank you so much for joining. I've been to 2 of your airports, but I've not officially set foot in the land down under. But how do you become a Calgary Flames fan when you live in Australia? That would be interesting to know. Yeah, we've had a few Australian hockey fans. Every now and then we'll see one, and we can never get enough of you guys. Aiden Hill will be available. There you go. I'd wrap Jack Hughes in bubble wrap. American hockey hero, Jack Hughes. Yeah, we've had a few fans or viewers from Australia. I'm trying to think. I think at one point we might have had a Kiwi. I have spent some time in Kiwi in New Zealand. We've had other fans or other viewers south of the equator from we had one who was originally from Canada but lived in South Africa. We've had a couple from Argentina and Chile. I'm trying to think of anywhere else. Yeah, pretty much that's it. All right, we're going to get underway with the third period. And whoever was saying something about classic games, I forgot who it was. Well, thank you for asking me that. I'd be happy to show off more games in my collection if we do more of these streams. I do have some other old hockey games. Not a whole lot of them, but I have like NHL Rock the Rink from the original PlayStation. Oh, yeah, by the way, Carolina is on a power play to start this period. And can the Hurricanes power play actually do something? You know what? I'll give them credit. Their second period power play was actually pretty good. They have a 2-1 lead courtesy of Nikolai Ehlers and a shot wide by Gostisbehere. Got a pretty good look at the net, though. Excuse me. Yeah, third period. All right. Hurricanes have the zone. Here's Gostisbehere. Back pass, one-timer, and Dobish getting a piece of that, or maybe it went off of Svechnikov. No matter. Play goes on with Aho. And he works it down low to Svechnikov. Going around the horn. And Aho. I'd like to see Aho, shoot the puck a little bit more. Aho at the goal line. Aho. Oh, look at in front. And Jarvis didn't quite tap that in. But a nice deceptive play there from Sebastian Aho. Alex Carrier nearly got the clear there, but Aho converging on him. This puck comes out to Gostisbehere. An aggressive play, but he's able to hold the zone. The power play is now expired, or... Oh, it's just not showing it on the scoreboard. We're still 5-on-4. Dobish, a pad save off of Jarvis, and the Canadiens finally get a clear. 16-5, the shots favor Carolina. Show off games in the music. You know what? That would actually be pretty fresh. I like that idea. I remember when Wayne Gretzky called you a Mickey Mouse Club. Yeah, the Devils of all the teams. Now Stankoven trying to center it. Goes off a skate. Canadiens able to kill this off. That's 3 penalties they've killed off. Now down low, it goes off the end boards and onto the stick of Logan Stankoven. Flipping it ahead are the Hurricanes. They'll get a change. And now a turnover in the neutral zone. And this puck is sent around the net. Dobish couldn't quite play it. Gooley. And now Blake. He's got Slavin at the point. Down low now for Stahl. Good defense there from Hudson and good support from Suzuki. But, and an intercepted pass from Texier. And he'll scoop it ahead. Suzuki. Caulfield jumps into the play. In the corner. Suzuki against Stahl. The captain's battling. Suzuki handing this off for Struble. And he takes it around the net. Nice knockdown there by Caulfield. And the cycle game for the Canadiens is going a little bit here. Now, Uri Slafkovsky. Trying to center it in front. Went off a stick. Kane's able to get the clear, but this is going to go for icing with the first 3:33 gone by. Yeah, from the Colorado Rockies to the New Jersey Devils. Well, I mean, shoot. I don't know if they were Mickey Mouse so much, but the Colorado Rockies, that was not exactly run all that well there. Don Cherry could not save that team. By the way, that Dobish made a great save off of Jarvis on that crazy good setup from Aho just during the power play. So the Canadiens' fourth line out there now with Bolduc. Ahead for Doc. Anderson able to chip that away from the attacker, Freddie, that is. And the Canes are able to get it clear. As Matheson intercepted in the neutral zone by Svechnikov. Svechnikov, cross ice. He's got Jarvis. Jarvis, the back pass, the shot. And doesn't quite get on net. But the puck retrieval for Carolina has been terrific tonight. Aho. Dancing to the high slot. A shot knocked down by the glove of Dobish. Canadiens get the clear, but backtracking is Nikishin. Showing good range. You had the Devils Christmas jersey. You know what I really liked was the reverse retro 1.0 when they had the green jersey, but with red shoulders. I thought that one actually turned out great. I used to have, I don't have it anymore, but I used to have a vintage, like, early 90s white jersey. So what they wore at home at the time with that color scheme. That was a good looking jersey. And I know they reissued it in Adidas. But yeah, kind of an underrated jersey, I think. If the Canes win, it will be their second Eastern Conference final win since not just 2019, but since 2006. Because this is the fifth time they've been to the conference final since 2006, and they've only won that one game. And a shot off the end, or that one goes off the end boards, and Freddie Anderson able to squeeze it with the pads as Jake Evans nearly tied it up, as Freddie was having a hard time tracking the puck there. Emperor King in the building. Good evening to you. Let's take a look at that there. Yeah, Evans. Whew. He was unmarked in the slot there, and that might have even ramped off of somebody as Anderson was able to just snag that with his pads. 2006, what on earth is wrong? Yeah, so they got swept in 2009. Then Brind'Amour comes in 2019. I mean, this is a team that hasn't made the playoffs in a decade. So even if you get swept in the conference final, you've won 2 playoff rounds, but you get swept. Then next time is 23 against the Panthers. They get swept, albeit I will defend Brind'Amour for this again, because the Hurricanes played as good as the Panthers did. Really, they did. If you look at the Deservo win meter or whatever, or even with the eye test, the Hurricanes controlled a lot of that series. But the better goaltending was on Florida's side. And so the Panthers got the sweep. And then last year, the Panthers won in 5. I thought that was not nearly as close of a series. The Panthers were a better team. So, Tiago, what's going on? Another viewer from south of the equator. At least I think you're south of the equator. Guys have a worse playoff record than the Bills since 2019. Oh, yeah, at least the Bills will win a game here and there, right? But I got to credit the Hurricanes in that, they don't have the marquee players. They are a team that gets it done by committee. And I think that they're not by any means in a hot hockey market to where they can attract the top free agents. I think they're as resourceful, and yeah, I think that they're run remarkably well. And there are only 3 or 4 other teams that have as many playoff series wins as the Hurricanes in the last 6 years. So I think they get way too much hate. But at the end of the day, when you get repeatedly bounced quickly in the conference final, that's a point that's hard to argue against much. How do they deserve to win when they get swept? I didn't say that they deserved to win the series. I just said that they played as well as the Panthers did. They frankly they did. How's the game going? The Hurricanes are controlling things a lot better. Montreal only has 5 or 6 shots on goal right now. But, it's still just a 1-goal game. Yeah, 6 shots on goal, and we're in the 3rd period, and it's the first commercial break. Ghost Cobra is in the building. Hello. And please, let's get some more ice time for Berkeley Cat in this upcoming season. I would love to see that. Kind of excited to see the new stadium for the Bills with the Bills Mafia. I just hope the tailgating is as electric as it's been. Kind of like the Blue Jays. I can kind of see that a little bit. I don't watch a whole lot of baseball, but yeah, I mean, the Blue Jays are in the shadow of the Red Sox and the Yankees, and they've been just as competitive, if not more competitive, than those teams, right? So I think that's fair. Yes, we need more Berkeley Catton, though. Let me, man, that's cool. I'll put away these games 1 sec. Sure, oh girl. What do you want, a treat? You deserve a treat. Can I get a kiss? He's a kiss. Dark. Greetings, Twisters. Tommy boy, how you doing? Quick moment of silence for Brent Taylor and the Taylor family. May the GOAT rest in peace. Well said. I mean, Carolina is my favorite team in the East, but hey, I would not be upset at all if Brent Taylor's Montreal Canadiens got to the Stanley Cup. It was not enjoyable for the Kraken. Yeah. It's really hard to pinpoint what kind of direction that team's trying to take right now. Hopefully a little bit of turnover from the executive side of things is going to help, but I just don't know what to say about Dobish. Yeah, I mean, Dobish has been, so far in the series, he's been great. Kitchener Lightning prospect Sam O'Reilly, okay, wanted to get a Kitchener jersey from the online store. There was no option to have the jersey delivered to the States, though. That's unfortunate. I guess it's not the most surprising thing, just given, it's an OHL team in Canada, but that's too bad. Maybe you could get something on eBay. I don't know if it would be Sam O'Reilly, though. How's Jose doing? You know what I gotta do? I gotta text him. I gotta see how he's doing. I haven't talked to him much since we had a little fundraiser for him. I was gonna get my phone, but my phone is the Cortana camera, so I'm gonna write a note to myself to check in with Jose. I haven't talked to him a whole lot since I moved out of state. Like, there are a bunch of friends and people I know from that community, because I know him from my video games community. But I do have a couple friends who I'm going to see later this year from that group. But yeah, I just haven't been as active in that circle. Oh, did Anderson get a piece of that, or was that Josh Anderson looking for another goal? Well, anyway, Montreal nearly tied it up, and a shot here from Suzuki, and swallowing that up is Freddie Anderson. I was able to buy a WHL Seattle Thunderbirds since they're based in the States. Yeah. That's a great jersey. I've got one too. Seattle needs an elite scorer like an Austin Matthews. Yeah, they really do need something just proven and high end, and it's yeah. And getting that at center would be especially beneficial for them. That wasn't even Dobish, Seth Jarvis, just McKinnon. Oh, I know what that means now. And Anderson able to see around Oliver Kapanen. So now the Canadiens are putting a little bit of rubber to the net here. I've been wondering if Shane Wright was snake bitten. I really just didn't tune into any Kraken games, even though they're the closest team for me geographically. Then again, if I try to watch games with the ESPN Plus subscription, Seattle's one of the blackout markets, which is the dumbest thing. I don't even live in Washington. So Montreal might be responding here with 11 minutes left in this period in regulation. They've got it behind the Carolina net. A centering pass, and Carrier able to knock this away off of Matheson. He sends it ahead for Robinson, a slap, and a save by Dobish. McKinnon's now, yeah. I always say, when I say McKinnon, like, I've used McKinnon as a verb in the past, That means when he's you could tell from a mile away when McKinnon is bringing up the puck on the power play just by his body language and how his like short strides. I always say like McKinnon's up ice, or he McKinnon's to the slot. The way that he cuts from the wing to the slot, it's like a 90-degree shift that he takes. It's so dramatic. Like he does that in such a signature way. But now I can see why. Yeah, Chandler Stevenson contract is so bad he cashed in. I mean, he was a hot ticket at that time. It's not the. I mean, God, he's only making what, like $7 million a year or something like that. It's not terrible, but it's just not what a team like the Kraken need. You know, McKinnon should win the Hart Trophy. The thing, though, is that the playoffs have no bearing on the award winners. I mean, hey, call me crazy, but I think that if there was an argument to put Celebrini in for the Hart Trophy as a finalist, I think he should replace McKinnon. If not, well, maybe Kucherov, but I think McDavid should probably win the award. But that's just me. Still, I'm very, very happy with Macklin being nominated for the Ted Lindsay. That's even more impressive when it's the Players Association. Playoffs should be included for the award winners. Maybe we should just have more awards during the playoffs. You know, not just the Conn Smythe, right? Should be Conn Smythe, get, you know, defenseman of the playoffs. Like, I'll have a couple of options out there. Oh, almost there, Sean Walker. And something happened there. His stick broke as he tried to put that by Texier. Cortana will do that from time to time because she's like, I'm not getting enough treats. Can you lie down? Well, good girl. You're just kind of out of the frame here. I'll put it over there for you. There you go. You can readjust. Yeah. Oh, and what are you gonna do, girl? Okay, we still see you, just can't see your face. Should have a best defensive defenseman. Yeah. Or what should happen is that the Norris should be for the best true defenseman, and then then you could have an award for offensive defenseman or something like that. So like Evan Bouchard would be a finalist for the offensive defenseman. But I think we have a best defensive forward award, which I won't even talk about that, but like at least they have a best defensive forward. Like, why don't you have a best offensive defenseman, right? Or a best stay-at-home defenseman? Should make a worst playoff performer award. Okay, well, who should that go to right now? Who would be the worst playoff performer? It's kind of mean to say this because he did bad in the second round, but he did good in the first round. Alex Tuck. That's maybe a little harsh. We reached a commercial break, by the way. I hope you're having a good time with us. Thank you for joining. Please do hit the thumbs up if you could. Don't do it for me. Do it for my dog. And stick around because we could perhaps have more streams during the playoffs. Perhaps. We got to see how my emotions are faring as Brent Burns. It's looking less likely that he will even be in the Stanley Cup final. Not Tuck. Kane Surge. I didn't like the Whalers jersey like green color. I liked the original jersey better for the Whalers. I'm just trying to break that down. I didn't like the Whalers jersey like. As far as what the Hurricanes have worn, I like both looks. I like the green and I like the white. The green was good when they added Pucky the Whale to the shoulders, but I think the white one looks amazing. I still think I probably slightly prefer the white Whalers over the green one. The Leafs would always win that award. That's the Austin Matthews Award. It was Mitch Marner's award before he came to Vegas. Don't forget, of course, we also had the Canes wearing the. Is that what happened, Eric? It's funny because earlier, as you might have known, Dobush had a stick that got caught in his freaking skate blade. The Whaler or the Hurricanes also for Reverse Retro 1 had the gray Whalers jersey, right? I didn't care for that so much. It wasn't bad by any means, but it just, I don't know. It might as well just be a white jersey because then that way the color contrast is better. Here's the third line for the Canes: Stahl, Ehlers, and Martinook. And 3 Canadiens defenders trying to pry that away from Stahl. Out in front for Martinook, he shoots and just wide there. Good effort. Still alive in the Montreal zone as we get down to 8:20 left. Chatfield. And not a very good play from him as that goes straight to Dobson. And now the Canadiens, they're going to take some time to come out of their zone. Any plans for Memorial Day? Not really. I might take my kayak out though, because we have a couple of lakes. And so, yeah, I haven't taken out my kayak since like last July. So I'd like to do that. And consoling Cortana as she deals with all the fireworks. But the fireworks here, there are a lot, but they're not super close to us. So I think she'll be okay. Probably just get her a little stoned or something. And the Canes able to get this puck deep again. A stretch pass that goes out of play for the Canadiens. And we're down to 7:31 in regulation. Will the Canes get in trouble if they wore the Whalers jerseys this series? Well, yeah, you're not allowed to switch home jerseys. You have to go with the same one for the whole playoffs, so you would get fined. But I think that's the only thing that would happen to them. Montreal and Hartford used to battle each other back in the day. The best year the Hartford Whalers had was in 1986, I want to say, where they, or maybe it was earlier in the decade, but they got to a Game 7 against the Canadiens, and they lost in, I think, overtime of that Game 7 or double overtime. But that was their best year in the second round. They never got to a conference final as the Hartford Whalers. Here come the Canadiens. Josh Anderson, the lone goal for Montreal, trying to make something happen here. A scramble right in front of Anderson, and that puck's in the back of the net. It's Josh Anderson again, and the Canadiens have tied it up. And Cortana, lie down and treat. There you go. Oh, sorry, girl. Oh, geez. Freddie Anderson just lost his balance there. And Anderson able to, in a sea of sticks, was able to poke that home. Jimmy Snuggerud. It is kind of a fun name. Tomorrow is your test to become a certified accountant. Wow. On a Sunday, huh? All right, Tiago. Well, best of luck. I don't even know what to say. Because I do not have the brain power to crunch numbers like that. I can do my TurboTax okay, but wow. Best of luck, man. The blue jersey for the Whalers, that's your favorite. Oh, okay. Yeah, there are some people out there who prefer that the most. What I didn't like was how the logo was altered, in 1992. It just looks too puffy for me, I guess, with all the strokes or whatever. But it's still altogether a very good jersey. Jimmy, what's up? Thank you for hopping in here. That means a lot. All right. Come on, Montreal. You've got this. Oh, here's an interception from Taylor Hall around the net. Oh, tried to put it up, just put it off the side of the net. We get down to 6 minutes. The Canadiens tie this game on just their 9th or 10th shot at the game. Now they've got it behind the Hurricanes net with Zach Bolduc. Why did I say Sam Bolduc? Is that a brother of his? Carolina able to get the clear. They're going to have to regroup with Keandre Miller. Turned over in the neutral zone to Carrier. Jakub Dobish might never need to buy another beer in his life. I mean, if they win the Stanley Cup, yeah, he's never paying for a beer in the whole province of Quebec, for that matter. So we hit one more commercial here before the final 5:31 of regulation. Oh, man, the Hurricanes have played such a good game. This is what happens. They play these really good games, but they only have 2 goals on the board. And the crappy thing is, assuming this goes to overtime, because Cortana's on my battery-powered phone, so it will actually run out. So we'll have to, we won't have a Cortana camera for an overtime, most likely. Just seeing what's happening. You've been hearing the Bruins making a deal with the Ducks 2 days ago. You mean what's going on with the Boston Bruins and the Anaheim Ducks? I don't think I heard anything about that. I see like the possibility of that they should make a trade. Maybe bring in somebody like Mason McTavish, excuse me, a former 3rd overall pick, if I'm correct. I could kind of see that happening. I mean, that's a team that could use some help at center. Interesting. McTavish might need a change of scenery too. You lie down? Oh wait, you are lying down. What am I thinking? All right, here you go. Ooh, there you go. All right. Oh, let's give you another one here. This is a big one. Oh, never mind. There we go. Woo. Good girl. Wow. So the Canadiens, combining regular season and playoffs, they have 31 wins this year, regular season and playoffs, in which they've trailed at some point in the game. And Zellweger, yeah, because, I mean, Anaheim's, they're not in a cap crunch or anything like that, but in terms of just Zellweger, is he going to get enough opportunity, right? Yeah, that's fair, Dean. If you know a Canadian team can actually win a Stanley Cup, it's been 33 years. Mind blowing. Okay, 5:24 left to play. Canadiens win the faceoff. Scooping this up from behind his net is Nikishin. Now Evans. Dobson around the net, but nobody's there. Jarvis will skate this out. He's got Gostisbehere in transition, but a bobbling puck that Gostisbehere cannot handle. Intercepted by Evans in the neutral zone. The Canadiens might have something cooking here. One-timer from Newhook. Anderson able to slide over and get the pads on it. As and a loose puck out in front, and Demidov couldn't quite come up with it. Otherwise, yikes, that was a misadventure, to say the least, if you're a Hurricanes fan, as we're down to 4:30 left. Oh, and Zellweger was scratched. I didn't know he was. I know like McTavish seemed pretty out of the mix in the playoffs. I didn't know about Zellweger though. Slavin toward the net, looking for Stahl on the doorstep, and now he's got this behind the net with Dobson D'ing him up. Slavin looking out front. And a save by Dobish off a stall. Right in front of the crease. This puck hops over Jordan Stahl's stick. The Hurricanes will regroup. And we're down to 3:45 in regulation. A late goal and the second of the game for Josh Anderson has tied this game. Chipped in by Stankoven as he goes hard into the boards. Hudson moves it out of the zone, but the Hurricanes are right there in the neutral, although it's turned over to Caulfield. He's got Slavkovsky on the wing. Oh, he shovels it through the crease. Kept in at the point, but blocked in front. And the Hurricanes can get a change. This puck is chipped in behind Dobish. 3 minutes left. Come on, Robbie. It's a must-win for Colorado. Yeah, I'm thinking this might be a must-win for Carolina. Cortana, you're fine, girl. I've given you a lot of goodies. Bolduc takes a hit from Martinook, but stays with it. Hurricanes dumping it around the Montreal net. And there's a scrum behind the Canadiens net. Played out to Chatfield at the point. Easy save from Dobish. And he sticks it aside so that play goes on. In the corner, Martinook trying to shake from Carrier. And he finds Chatfield again. A puck out of play with 2:06 remaining. 23-11. The shots are in favor of the Hurricanes. Holy cow, I might need a third beer if we're going to overtime. You need to keep the puck off the walls if you're the Avalanche. That's where the Golden Knights are winning. Yeah, I remember you saying something about that too. Keeping to the outside and winning puck battles. Some Bruins fans were divided on Rask. I mean, I thought about that too when his career was winding down. It's like, does he make the Hall of Fame? I mean, the numbers would. Oh, and Texier has that shot ramped off a stick and out of play. He's got credentials that I think give him a case, you know. But that's kind of where you might have to draw the line. Like he's pretty on the cusp of being a Hall of Fame goaltender. .158 left. Josh Anderson now 5 goals for the playoffs. I liked him quite a bit when he was a Blue Jacket. Always like the intensity he plays with. Texier. And turnover in the neutral zone. Here comes William Carrier. Flutters it out. Oh, he had somebody open in the slot there. He's got it again. He goes around the net. Actually, this takes a weird hop. A wraparound attempt. I don't know if that was Jankowski. Here's Jankowski again. Robinson behind the net. A shot doesn't quite reach the target. And cleared, but controlled by Miller. He'll slap it in as the Hurricanes get a change. And we are now 60 seconds away from a possible overtime. Dumped down behind Anderson. He'll paddle this aside, but Evans is the first one there. A loose puck scooped up by Eers, and he falls to his knees as it's scooped up by Alex Newhook. Batted around by the Hurricanes. Not cleared. Slavin out there. A couple of white jerseys along the boards. Demidov trying to win this puck battle, and he does. Demidov behind the net, floats it out to Evans. Evans pulls up, thought about the shot, to the point. Immediately blocked there by Stahl. Down to 17 seconds. Evans pulls up. Chatfield gets the block. Around the net, nobody's there. Miller with less than 10 seconds. Kept it. Oh, for a moment there, it looked like it was kept in at the point. Hurricanes trying to get a little aggressive there. Down to 1 second, and Suzuki can't quite get off a shot as we are going to overtime. And in a game that was controlled largely by the Hurricanes, as we know, they don't have a whole lot to show for it. 2 goals. Montreal stuck on, what was that, 12 shots on goal? And Anderson's made some good saves, but he unfortunately could not come up with that game-tying goal from Josh Anderson. So we'll go to overtime. How the hell did this happen to the Canes? I mean, it's the same thing, right? Just they control possession, but they just can't finish plays. I mean, Eers had a great goal, but yep. Yeah. I might need another beer. Yeah, Tommy boy, that's pretty much it. Everything on paper favors the Hurricanes other than the fact that it's the conference final. The curse continues. Yeah. I mean, this game is not it's not over yet, but it's almost like history's ready to repeat itself. It's the hockey gods just playing a joke on Carolina. Now, I want to just be clear. I think the Canadiens most definitely earned the opportunity to be here playing for a chance to make the cup final. I predicted the look at that. Mrs. Twister is listening to the stream. She heard me entertain the idea of having another beer, and she brings me another beer. She's the best. She really is. I think I'm so blessed to have this one in front of me here, Cortana, but then you add Mrs. Twister to the mix, and you just keep hitting yourself and expecting to wake up from the dream that you're having. But yeah, if you're Vegas, you have to keep the foot on the gas and take game 3 and go up 3-0. You don't want to give the Avs that a second life if you're them. That's true. Dubs for Mrs. Twister. Indeed, here. The hockey gods just have Carolina go to the conference final just to laugh at them. It's pretty much that. Who in North Carolina pissed off the NHL? Maybe the hockey gods were very upset at Peter Karmanos for moving the Whalers. Fatality. Blackhawks, what's going on? I hope you're having a smooth off season so far, and I hope you're looking forward to the draft as those prognosticators out there are saying, hey, maybe Ivar Stenberg will be yours for the taking. It could play out that way. It's not entirely out of the picture. Lautaro, what's going on? Who does Cortana root for in this series? Hurricanes or Canadiens? I don't know. I mean, Cortana, she likes the Islanders. So if she likes the Islanders, something tells me that she doesn't like the Hurricanes. But I tried to tell her otherwise. This is Don Cherry's fault. I don't know the connection between Don Cherry and North Carolina, but Stenberg and Bedard together. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm thinking about the same thing possibly between Stenberg and Celebrini, but yeah. And Frundell as well. Like, let's not forget about Frundell. I've only seen like a bit of his game. Yeah, that guy is going to be a problem. I'm looking forward to a full season of Frundell, frankly. Islanders is a good choice. Get Cortana a Schaefer jersey. Shoot, you know what, guys? Cortana is almost as old as Matthew Schaefer. Okay, it's a stretch, but honestly, Matthew Schaefer was 6 years old when Cortana was born. Isn't that crazy? Frundell, the young Barkov, or the young Mark Stone. Excuse me. That's insane. Yeah. Yep, Cortana was born in 2014. Well, I mean, I had to make up her birthday because I was told she was between 6 and 7 months when I adopted her. So I drew a line right down the middle, and it turned out to be January 18th of 2014. Or is Frundell a Lundell? I would think that he probably has an extra gear or two offensively. But so you're saying he will end up going to Vegas? Well, I mean, Chicago's been out of the playoffs for a while there, so who knows? Maybe he'll have higher expectations, and the team's just not able to meet them. I don't know. Cortana's the same age as your sister. Yep, Cortana's. She just raises her head and she says, "What about me?" I liked the 08 black jersey for the Blackhawks. Oh yeah. Oh, you mean it was basically the same thing that they wore this past year, right? Unless you're talking about that Winter Classic jersey with the chest stripe, right? Both of which are very good. But yeah, the black Chicago jersey that I believe it was originally issued in 1999. That's a fantastic jersey. I gotta scoop up one of those one of these days. It's pretty great. Of course, Cortana's much pretty. Oh, yeah. Well, guys, we did this last stream. It was the Canadiens and the Sabres. It was Game 7, and we did predictions for who would win it in overtime. So you guys got to give me an overtime winner on the Carolina side and give me an overtime winner on the Montreal side. So my overtime winner prediction, I'm going to say, yeah, overtime hero. Who am I going to get? Let's see here. For the Hurricanes, when Cortana was created, Grand Theft Auto 5 existed. Yeah, it was. Grand Theft Auto had only been out for about 5 months, I want to say. Carolina, I'm going to say my pick is. I kind of like what the fourth line is doing tonight. It'd be weird to predict a fourth line player. I'm going to go Jankowski. I don't know. There's something about that. On the Canadian side, I'm going to go with Slavkovsky. So I'm going to go with some skis. Jacob Slavin for the Hurricanes. Cole Caulfield for the Habs. It's cool with the logo on the black jersey, the 1999, the chain stitching. Yeah. I didn't understand what that was until I ordered a jersey myself. And yeah, it does make a cool difference. Not to mention the Jets actually had a on I think on the current alternates that are the navy blue with the old logo. I want to say that logo is chain stitched because it was chain stitched on the reverse retro 1.0 and on the white the white like 19 WHA jersey basically. And that looks magnificent. I loved those. Yeah, Slavin redeems himself. All right, Tommy boy. I'm gonna let's see. I mean, I have merch, but like really, Teespring, my vendor, I don't like. I would say, you know what? Here, we'll put this out there. I will find a way to make this happen. If Jacob Slavin scores the overtime winner in this game for the Hurricanes, I will give you a Twisted Wrister T-shirt or a coffee mug. I will send one your way. Complimentary, my friend. So, screenshot that, and if Slavin scores the winner, we'll get in touch. Nick Suzuki about to be banned from Carolina after he scores. For the Canes, I've got William Carrier. For the Habs, Nick Suzuki. You have a Bobby Hull. So then I would assume that the crest is different because that was their time as the Chicago Black Hawks, right? Eers and Hudson. I like the Eers call. Beautiful goal he scored earlier. Yeah, Lane Hudson hasn't really come alive so much in this game. Maybe he's just saving it for the extra frame. Hey, yeah, why do we have to get overtime? Why can't the Hurricanes just win a playoff game without me stressing? Yeah. By 2014, neither Washington nor St. Louis nor Florida had any titles. Yeah. Vegas didn't exist, right? And the beloved Coyotes still existed. Yeah, I mean, the Coyotes were just 2 years removed from a conference final appearance of their own. That was the only time they ever did it as the Coyotes. And it was the only time that they ever did it going back to even their time in Winnipeg. Carrier for the Canes and Caulfield for the Habs. All right, so I'm going for the skis. Jankowski, Slavkovsky. We could get some of that Olympic Uri Slavkovsky. He had a really good Olympics. Your jersey arrived. Can you remind me which one you bought? It wasn't a Penguins jersey, was it? Oh, a Coyotes jersey. Excuse me. Yeah, you got the Kachina, as we would call it. Cool. Yeah, that looks great in person too. I used to have one. I don't have one right now. New Hook and Taylor Hall. Yeah, somebody needed to give Taylor Hall some stick taps there. So yeah, good pick. This needs to be studied because no way they've only had one win. Oh, don't forget, Jake. This goes back to 2006, right? So they win the cup in 06. No wins in 2009. They go to the Eastern Conference Final, and then under Rod Brindamore, it's their fourth trip to the ECF, and they have one win so far. But yes, I would love nothing more than Olympic gold medalist Jacob Slavin to put the puck in the net. I am never tired of Chelsea Dagger. But is that ever going to go away? I mean, it's been with you guys all the way through the good times and the bad. So even with a new regime for Chicago, I wouldn't expect it to go away. Yeah. But yeah, it does need to be studied. Almost as much as Brent Burns not having a Stanley Cup, despite being old enough to be the father of a lot of NHL players at this point. I wish we'd get rid of our goal. Dude, it's very simple. They use Seek and Destroy for Coming Out. They should use a song from the same album as their goal song, and it should be Hit the Lights. Dun, 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 dun. Hit the lights. Like they should roll with that. Easy. It's snappy. It's memorable. There it is. Get rid of whatever they have now. Don't go back to Get Ready for This. Please don't. I don't know. I do know, but that's just my opinion. Oh, Paul Bissonnette picks Lane Hudson to score the OT winner. He'd be so feared across the NHL. That's going to do it, isn't it? Brent Seabrook. That new song is AI, apparently. Yeah, I saw that video about it, right? I wouldn't be surprised, I guess. Also, the fact that Joe Thornton was on Florida 2 years before they won. Yeah, that is pretty crazy. You want Tomas Hertl to lift the cup. It's okay, Nick. Bro, so weird seeing Hertl and Burns against each other, neither of which is wearing a TL jersey. Yeah, I want to see. How about this? I'll be happy for Hertl, but I want him to score some more goals. Like, can he score 75% of the Vegas goals? I would. That would really boost my excitement. It's like they should have had it in his contract as he was dealt away from the Sharks. There should have been an agreement. Like you can win a Stanley Cup with the Golden Knights. You must score 75% of their goals. That would have been a fair deal. Of course, it feels like every time he plays against the Sharks, he scores 75% of their goals. All right. Yeah, when the Blues go marching in, and that doesn't get old. I like how they, have their organist, right? They have him playing every game. I don't know if it's all game, but yeah. All right, one sec, guys. I'm going to use the restroom, okay? Oh, shoot, wait. We're going to get underway. Watch. Carolina scores before I even come back. Leave a like. Be right back. Okay, and we're back. I had to do that because, of course, overtime doesn't have any commercial breaks. So here we go. Overtime, everybody. Hold on to your butts. All right, so Newhook has it knocked away by Eers. Svechnikov. One-timer missed by Jarvis. Worked around for Aho, a bobbling puck. Aho out to the point, Walker, and off a stick of Evans. I guess I need to crack this guy open. Svechnikov. Back pass to Aho. In the slot. Backhander. Dobish pad save off of Jarvis. Frank Nazar's amazing. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy just how many weapons you guys have that we might forget to say Frank Nazar or Oliver Moore. Like 90% sure he's on your team, but yeah. All right, Canadiens gaining the Carolina zone, but Taylor Hall on the back pressure able to keep that away. This puck is not an icing. I thought that was an icing on the Hurricanes, but no. Jackson Blake able to pry that away from Texier. Oh, I thought that was going to be something for Gostisbehere. Jackson Blake, though, it's turned over. Hall can't quite come up with the puck there. I know I always say can't quite for some reason. Take a drink every time I say that. Here comes Nikishin on the wing into the corner against Hudson. Good support from Deneau. Ooh, Hurricanes almost committing a penalty there. Anderson, and he's going to send this a long way ahead. He's got Robinson. And good catching up there from Matheson. Really good pass, though, from Anderson. He got that to the far blue line. Turnover in the neutral zone, though. Montreal's had some hard times with that in this game. Behind the net for Carrier. He spins. Oh, he was looking. Couldn't connect there with Jankowski. And now Chatfield. As Montreal's having a hard time. And a shot. Score! It's Eers again, and the Hurricanes able to tie up the series. And we're going back to Montreal tied 1-1. Nikolai Ehlers, the hero tonight for the Hurricanes. In overtime, and also in regulation. 2 goals on the night for the Great Dane, and the Hurricanes, allowing only 12 shots on goal, prevail in overtime 3-2. And that is the second conference final win in the Rod Brindamore regime. All right, guys. Well, maybe we will go live for another game in this series, so stay tuned. I'll give Cortana a goal treat. Let's not forget about that. Please, before you leave a thumbs up if you could. I really would appreciate that. Canes deserve the win. I think they earned the win. Although Jakub Dobish had himself a very good game otherwise. But anyway, we will return hopefully for some time in the near future. So stick around. And hope you guys are enjoying your playoffs, whether watching this series or Colorado and Vegas. And kill the memes. I need to watch the post game, but I got to go celebrate. All right. And thankfully, I have this beer right here to help me with that. Thanks, guys. Have a good night. And enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. And we'll be back, all right? Good night, everybody.